Okay. It's the Sunday. Happy Easter to all you Christians out there. And oh my god, we're not even at full resin yet. I suppose we can burn time, do dailies, do a bit of Spiral Abyss, see how that goes. Alright, let's we got the Hilly Charles.
Animo test 6308. Absorption test. Stand clear. Whirling snow. My apologies. Shaken and stirred. Animal hypostasis emulation.
Let us go to here.
Take flight! Fate is upon you. So rude! Embrace the ice! Whirling...
Hi there, beekeeper. How's it going? How's your Easter Sunday going today? Man, this tree is trying to zap me. Yeah, okay. Where to next? Peekaboo! Hello, baby. I love you too. Cheers. Where's our next daily? Good day. Shit. Guess you're not a fan of Easter? Hey dude, over here. Gives us a 4-day weekend. So I'm not complaining. Oh, damn. My commiserations, you got Chi-Chi. Who are you trying to get? Ayato. I got Jean. But I already had him. I was trying to get a Constellation, but yeah, I lost the 50-50. I got another Jean. Damn, man. Well, I mean, it's something similar happened to me. I was trying to build pity after getting Ayato, and on the first temple I got the C1. So I thought, alright, I might as well try and get the C2 because it's better than the C1. But then obviously I lost the next 50-50 and yeah, I got G. I guess that's why they say you should never try and build pity, but it's tempting. It's always tempting, isn't it? That's why we play this game, to gamble, take a risk.
Let's go, let's go.
Oh, cool! You've got them all. So, did you have Chi Chi before, or is it your first Chi Chi? Because it's worse if it's a constellation. It does. I think it's set up like that. You know, they bait you with like they drip feed you some good luck, and then you think you're gonna keep getting it, and then you don't. Alright, first one, that's not too bad, right? I mean, I know it's still Chi Chi, but at least you're not, I don't know, like C4 or something Chi Chi, and you get another one, you'd be even more upset. Let's go Kamisato Estate. It's all the same though, really, isn't it?
Let's go, let's go.
Basically, they just, oh, I better kill these guys.
Delve into destiny.
They set. This is the only thing I dislike about Genshin, other than sometimes some quests have sloppy writing, is the expense of wishing. Not just in like money, but you know, in terms of like actually how many primo gems it takes, and then the pity, pretty high as well. It all just seems a bit pricey, regardless of if it's money or in-game resources.
My apologies.
Compared to other gacha games as well, you know, like the amount of resources you get for wishing in-game is very little.
Take flight.
Oh, you don't have Diluc or Kaching yet. I like Kaching, right? But I just don't think she's viable for endgame. I think Diluc still kind of is. Obviously he's power crept by Hu Tao, but he can still get the job done. But with Kaching, I found she's not really. I mean, you can make her like with any character in Genshin, you can make her a hyper carry, right? You can build a team just focused on strengthening her positive attributes. But I feel that she still loses like out in damage compared to other characters that you can invest less into.
Ad Astra at the
I was
soft.
almost at
Welcome to
80
the
myself,
Adventurers
but
Guild.
I got to 72, I think it was. Yeah, 72. Oh, you've only been playing 2 weeks. Well, you got quite a good roster of characters for only playing
Thank you for
2 weeks.
Error.
Have you managed to get to Inazuma already then to you know, be able to actually start working on Ayato? Well, I suppose chasm for Ayato, isn't it? You need to get to the underground stuff. Sorry about that. Oh, you finished the event? I haven't even finished the event yet. Rosaria is very good. Diana is very good. Zincho is very good. Yeah, you need Bennett. You definitely need Bennett. Well, you know. But if for 2 weeks in, you've got a good roster of characters. Alright, I think we've done everything except. I need crystal cores. Let's get them from Greenstone Forest. I can't believe I'm missing them all. She's very popular, Raiden. I don't really play my Raiden, to be honest. I find I use her more as a flex character to drop her in and out of teams where I need to change like the resonance, or I need an electro basically to do whatever reactions I need. But then my Raiden isn't C2, so she's obviously not at optimal power. I think if I had a C2 I'd probably make her main DPS, but C0 I use her more as a support, a burst support, and for electro application. Oops. Hang on down there. But yeah, I like Raiden. She's good. She's very popular. She had huge sales on both banners, like the first and the rerun. I originally got her just because I want to have all the Archons once they're all released, for that reason. But yeah, I haven't. I mean, I can obviously drop her into national team, right? You can have Raiden national team very easily, but you end up taking away like 3 really powerful supports for other teams to basically make her be a hyper carry in that team, and I'd rather have those people in the other teams that I use them in, because I like them. I prefer them in those teams. I don't know, mate. I think Kazuha's the best character in the game. That's my opinion. Because the thing is, right, you're always gonna get. There's always another DPS. There's so many DPS characters, but support characters. I mean, Bennett came out when the game was released, and he's still #1 support. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, and so support characters, I feel have more value, and they don't get power crapped as often as a DPS might. Okay, with having those 3 characters, it depends on what you want out of them, because Sucrose is more like a Venti, where they amplify the rest of your team's damage and give you crowd control, whereas Jean doesn't amplify damage as much because she doesn't swirl as much as they do. So because of that, and she heals, so because of that, she's more of a niche character. She fits into certain niche teams more, where Sucrose and Venti can literally drop into every team and add value to those teams by increasing the damage of those teams. But I mean, if you're 2 weeks in, you still got like quite a ways to go in terms of making those characters actually be viable, because you're obviously gonna have to farm the artifacts for them, get weapons for them, level them up, send them, etc, etc, etc. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'd try and get them all to around like level 70 to unlock the last talent, and by that time you will have got an understanding of how they play and what your preference is, and then build accordingly. Right, let's see what we've got here. Male. Whose birthday is it? Zhao's birthday. Okay. Alright, I'm going to do a few artifact runs. Well, the artifact domain I'm going to now is basically the one you want to be in. This one for all 3 of those characters. For anyone Animo except for Zhao. This is the set you want to get, the Viridescent Veneria. Yeah, that works for now. That's great, because you're just doing overworld stuff. But later on in the game, you're going to start needing 2 full teams to do the end game content, which is Spiral Abyss. But right now where you are, that's fine. For overworld, you'll be able to clear everything if you just build those 4 characters up, and then when you get to the end game, all those 4 characters will be still useful once you've built them, but they will you'll end up putting them into different teams, because they are their best when separated into different teams. But for now, for all the overworld stuff, yeah, just use those, build them up, and that team will slap hard. But when you get to like the end of the abyss, like right at the end, like floors 9 to 12, they reset every 2 weeks, and you can come back and redo them. And yeah, for that you require 2 teams. Oh, you have? But how have you if you've only played for 2 weeks? I don't get this. 2 weeks in, you definitely don't have the resources to be clearing floor 12. Or is this a second account you're on? It must have taken you a while to like go through. I suppose it's clearable, but I mean you wouldn't do it in any time to get any stars.
Enhanced animal modules. Can't handle your drink. Huh, shaken and stirred. Written in the stars. Sakura swirl. Animal test 6308. Stand clear. My apologies.
You can't run from dead.
Well, that's good if you can do it after 2 weeks of playing. That's very good. Why are you crying, baby? Sorry. Sorry about that one, little boy. This is terrible. This is terrible, terrible, terrible. Let's go again.
Sword marks Mega special. Shaken and stirred. Let me amuse. Sphinx is upon me. Kamisato art. Summit. Absorption test. Stand clear.
Can't run from dead.
Oh my god, I'm full of artifacts. Right, I'm gonna have to raise something to alleviate the space issues. Let's see what we have that's decent, that's worth trying to level up. This is probably worth trying to level up. Ah, the 2 defense stats make it so crap though. That HP makes that bad. Those flat stats make that bad. Again, the HP makes this bad. Right, let's see what else we can raise. I've already got too many feathers raised up. That might be worth raising, but this flat defense will screw me. There's so many pieces of double defense but double crit. Good morning, D2, or afternoon, how are you doing? It is early for me, isn't it? It's Easter Sunday, that's why. So we've got a long weekend here. So family's home, all of that stuff, so I managed to start early. And I'm planning to do a bit of a longer one than usual today. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if it all goes according to plan. So what's been going on, D2? How is your account going? This might be worth raising, but flat HP, geez, these stats, they just want me to puke. Gonna be one of these top ones. Right, screw it. That's probably the best one we got. The other one's got double defense on it. Yeah, I wouldn't either, mate. I got to 75 on... Oh, nice, into crit damage. I got to 75 on this account, and I'm waiting for Kazuha on this account, and I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going higher. Which is slightly annoying, because I could do with some of the 4 stars that have been on Ayato's banner, but... And some of the 4 stars that are coming on Ayaka's banner as well, actually, but you know what? I'm not going to risk it. Because this account is very similar to yours, except I buy the Welkin every month, but I've stopped buying the BP, and yeah, I haven't spent any money except BP and Welkin on this for like, since last, what was it, my wife stopped playing this account? About August? Excuse me. So, since August it's been BP and Welkin, and this last month it's just been BP. So I'm sort of getting the play style of, you know, like having to save resources rather than just opening the wallet. Yeah, it's a good thing to do, man. That went into HP. Swag. Okay. Give me something into crit rate and makeup. Bring it here, baby. Bring it here. Okay, put your foot up here. Or... I love you. There you go, you can go stroking. Sorry about that. Right, we go plus 18. Damn, right, that wasn't very good, but we can use this for fodder, and at least now I have space in my inventory. Oh, that is so bad. It's just like so bad. Jeez. Could they give me any worse stats? There's one good stat attack percent. If that was flat attack, this would definitely be the worst, like, the worst circle I've ever got. These two are bad. Let's go again. Gentle with the cat, baby. Good boy. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, the HP, like, the main stat is obviously the worst problem, but then you got a good 4. Okay. That's good. If what you mean Viridescent, you got a good 4 on Viridescent. They'll do. Okay. Well, don't worry about artifacts. I mean, until you know your AR-45, because when you get to AR-45, you're guaranteed a gold artifact after every run. Pre-AR-45, there's no guarantee, so you end up wasting resin, basically. It's not efficient. Until then, just stick with, like, you know, like whatever you can get the best substats on. Mix and match just to have, like, good crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and energy recharge. This is a defense, flat attack, flat defense, and not even a 3.9 crit rate, 3.1 crit rate. That's pretty good, Cooper, for 2 weeks in. I don't know, like, how you're clearing these domains, but it must take you a long time. Yeah, that is better, D2. It is a lot better than having a C0 Sucrose. A C1 Bennett is much better. Especially considering, like, you've got Hu Tao on that account. And, you know, like, she basically needs Bennett. I mean, everyone needs Bennett. Let's not mess around. Everyone needs Bennett. But C1 Bennett is very valuable.
Absorption test. Animal test 6308. Let me scry.
Oh, will you die? This thing just won't die. Did you, Tita? I haven't even finished it on a single account. On this account, I haven't even started it. I'm gonna try and finish it on my main account today. And I might do a bit of it on this account, but just skip through all the, you know, all the talking. Oh, crap. Look at this. Bad stuff today. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, the set is the wrong set.
There you are. Enhanced animal module 75 Diana special. Let me amuse myself. Decided by destiny. Whirling snow. Ha! Sakura swirl. Absorption test. Animal test 6308. Stand clear.
The wrong test subject.
My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, you can. If you want to play Ganyu Freeze, you can use Ayaka as sub DPS, but I mean, you can do that with like most primary DPS characters. You can use them as sub DPS. But I don't see the point of using a main DPS, especially one with such a high damage ceiling like Ayaka. She can like really hit some high numbers if she's got the right setup, and I don't know why you'd waste that. Especially like with I don't like Ganyu Freeze myself. You know, so some people might enjoy playing that style. You know, it's their preference. I don't enjoy that. I prefer Ganyu Melt and Ayaka Freeze. So I use them both independently for, you know, those separate teams. But that's just preference, isn't it? That's just my preference. Everyone's got their own preference on how they play this game. Which characters they play with. Zane, leave her alone, baby. She doesn't want to cuddle. I can't do it now, Zane. Sorry, ask your mum. I've never got a double 5-star, let alone in 10. I've never ever got double 5-star. I've had like those, like I've had ones where many times where I've had like 3 or 4 4-stars, and that's the most. I've had 4 4-stars and a 5-star, but never double 5-star. Love you, baby. Where are we going? I forgot what I was doing here. Expedition and items forged, right.
I'm here.
Have you got that detail, or did you see someone else get it? I mean, I've seen screenshots, but also like a lot of people fake stuff with screenshots. You know, like they Photoshop stuff to like, I don't know, whatever their motivation is, but I don't know what that motivation is. Why are you gonna fake something in a single player game? What's the value? Get some kudos on Reddit or something. I don't get it, but anyway.
Let's go.
Let's just set up Amber. She must be finished now. Yeah. Oh, I didn't set up. Official. Yeah, this is done. Have you? I've never got it, so I'm not. It might be like the fortune slip from Inazuma. You know, like you get from the Narakumi Shrine. You can get. Wait, I'll go there. I don't know if it's going to be open yet now for this account. You go to like, there's an NPC in the shrine. She sells you these. She doesn't sell you, like you can get them. I don't know what the cooldown is. I think it's maybe 48 hours, something like that for this fortune slip thing. But I've never had a grand one, so I don't know. Here she is, this person. You come to this person. Go to fortune slip. There's a chance every day to receive a fortune slip. Yeah, I've never got a grand fortune slip to be able to try it, so... Let's see what this one is. Now we talk to the woman. She'll show us what it is. I want to decipher the fortune slip. Give that to you. Okay, let's see what that one was. I think that's the first time I've done it on this account, so I got the achievement for it. This. Read it. Your lucky object for the day, curly lizard tail. So because I got this fortune slip, for today I'll get more lizard tails drop in. So there's different, do you see what I mean? And apparently I've read that some people that get grand fortune slips have like had really good luck with enhancing, getting the 2 times and 5 times bonus like every time if they get the right slip. And then there's another slip where someone said they got they won their next 50-50 basically, but I don't know how accurate these things are, you know. Yeah, I forget to do it, to be honest, because most of the time it's something like this stupid where it's lizard tails, or it's like a sub quest like go to this area here and look at a waterfall and there might be a chest behind it or something, so I don't really bother with that often. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I have no idea how it works, but the only thing I think of that could affect it would be that fortune slip thing, because there's nothing else I know of in game that increases your luck for anything.
I just need a moment.
Alright, I'm going to switch back over to my main account. Let's see what this achievement was first. Yeah, let's see, this first time I did it on this account. I don't really do side quests and stuff on this account. Let's change accounts. I'll be right back on my main account. Okay, just gonna log in. I wrote the password right. It appears I did. Right, it's Sunday today, isn't it? So what are we going to do today? I'm in the process of trying to crown Ayato's burst. Garn use auto attack and Zhao's burst. But I'm starting with Ayato. I think I got all the stuff from yesterday, we just need the money. Oh yeah, these handguards, we'll get them tomorrow from Raiden Shogun. Boss. Yeah, so we need money. So he's set. Next in priority would be Ganyu, I think, because I play him when I play Zhao, so I'd want to crown this. Okay, and he's Shadow of the Warrior, so we need to kill Child. I could go and kill him now, actually, I didn't kill him this week. Diligence. So we can see how many diligence we need to make. And for this, oh, we need Shadow of the Warrior as well for Zhao. Prosperity, alright, let's go and kill Child, because I didn't do him this week. Risen isn't refreshed yet. I think I'll do Spiraled Abyss. I'll wait for that to refresh after we kill Child. Kill Child, do dailies, do some Spiraled Abyss. I should have done Spiraled Abyss on the other account as well. Didn't realise. Yeah, we'll take this team, but we'll take Kazuha instead.
Sounds good to me.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle. Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more seriously.
Torrent, bring refuge! Let's move out.
No use hiding back there.
My apologies.
Wins.
Guy just loves to shoot all over the place. Stay still, mate.
Into the wind.
Kamisato out. Sumetsu. Lights out.
Alright, please Shadow of the Warrior. Please Shadow of the Warrior. I need 4 of those damn things. Damn, Shroud of Foul Legacy and no Dream Solvent. Alright, at least we've got 2 actual child drops now, because I didn't have any before to change with Dream Solvents. Right, I'm going to do dailies quickly, then we're going to go and do Spirelobus. Yeah, my dailies are in Monster, aren't they? Clean up my achievements for... There's a quest like Love of Godwin or something. It was bugged when I first started playing. You couldn't complete it. And yeah, I think that's it. And then there's one in Leeway, the one where you've got to play the pirate game with the kids. I need to complete that.
Time to go.
Escort the balloon. Okay. Can I change group? You get out of the way. You do this. You go up here.
I follow the wind. Time to go.
Where's the balloon gone? No idea. Where are we going, balloon? Oh, does it want me to kill those 2 mobs? Really? They're not even hitting it. So long since I've done 1 stat daily.
Time to go.
Wait. Let me do that. Sorry, you hear me saying that stuff. I've got a 2-year-old here with me, so. Where are we going?
Be still.
Oh, this gate is blocking it. Ah, I see. How do I break this? Oh, I've got to choose. Go to the right thing, I just cleared it a bit.
Cascade.
Oops.
The wind knows me.
One Punch Man. Is that who you're talking about, D2? I think that's Thomas, One Punch Man. I'm a few years out of date with my anime watching, if I'm honest, due to getting married and all that crap. Kid.
Be still.
That's gonna
Maybe
hurt in the
that
morning.
just go over those vines. Yeah, I haven't like read or watched enough of it, but one of my mates is like, he's really much more into anime than I am, and always has been. And actually, 2 of my mates, like, they've both told me about it, so I know about it. I know how the character looks, but I haven't had time to watch any of it. It's so difficult now. When you got a baby and a wife and all that stuff. Literally, any free time I get, I jump onto Genshin, and that's it. That's like my hobby time is spent with Genshin. My missus doesn't really watch a lot of anime, so it's not something we can watch sort of together. Not that sort of anime. She liked Death Note. She likes like that sort of anime, like a thinking sort of anime, but not the fighting stuff that I kind of like like the Bleachers and Naruto's and Dragon Balls, even One Punch Man. I guess I would like that as well. She's not really into that sort of stuff, so it's hard to find time. Have you got your crown on? Wow! I was only two. I might give it a shot. I think I started it when it first came on. Was it on Netflix? I think it's on Netflix. I think I started it a while ago, a couple of years ago. Because I remember actually seeing like some of it, you know, it animated, but I can't remember for the life of me any of the story or anything.
Time to go. Into the wind.
Oh, I might be able to convince her to watch it. Alright, that's done. What else? Okay, yeah. I mean, that's also one of the reasons I find Genshin appealing, because it quenches my thirst for like anime kind of content that I don't have time to sort of watch animes and play video games separately, when this kind of ticks those two boxes.
One with nature.
That's kind of why I get a bit, I get very annoyed with the sloppy writing in certain quests in this game. Because if you think about how well, like, the world is constructed, you know, like the Teyvat, the lore, the history, cultures, all of this stuff, and then you read some of the, like, the badly written dialogue in quests, it just reminds me of the original Naruto series, where you had about 200 episodes of filler, and they were all really bad quality, you know, like, episodes. It feels like that. It's like they're just putting filler content in, and then you wait for the Archon quest or the story quest, the character story quest, to get some decent content. Then I can't get up now. Ask Mummy to change it, TV. Where are we going? Yeah, it'd be very cool. It would be very, very cool. Get these eggs. Where's I'm going this way? What daily is this? I really don't remember them on stat dailies. Like a year ago I was doing them. Right, what do you want, old man? You want firwood and birch. Luckily I have both. There you go. You happy now? Lol, Mona hasn't paid her rent. Right, let's go and see Mona in that house we set her up in. Yeah, that's, like I was saying, that's what gets me a bit with Genshin, because the production quality in this game, like in terms of the visuals, the audio, the combat system, you know, like the elemental reactions, all that, it's really, really high caliber. And even like I was saying, the lore, the history, the world building, it's all high caliber. But then you get to those sloppy written dialogue quests, and it just breaks that immersion of feeling in the world of Teyvat. Yeah, that's what I mean, like that sort of stuff. It reminds me very much of one episode in those early Naruto fillers when Naruto was still a kid, the first season before Shippuden, and one of the episodes I remembered, it stuck in my mind as a filler episode where he learned to make ramen, and I was like, I'm watching this episode and the animation quality fell off, the dialogue fell off, and the dude is learning to make noodles. And it reminded me of this Iodori event at the beginning, you know, when they're talking about tasting food and all this shit. And I was like, Come on, really? This is what you're putting in this product that do you not know who your audience is, really? Well, that's the gist of like the game for us, isn't it? Travel and do everything, and here's like a very few primos every day. Go and see Catherine for them like I'm doing now. Our robot will hook you up every day. You can find her in every land. We've set her up there for you to drip feed you primos. Alright, let's go back to this goth guy. Where are you? Don't need those philanthro mushrooms anymore, I don't think. Where are you, Goth? There you go. She doesn't really owe that much rent. We can pay off for a few days, okay. Yeah, they will. I mean, I've been playing games since the 1980s, right, when I was a little kid, like back in the 8-bit days, and they always will. They'll just get more realistic and more demanding. Just send Traveller to like the Ukraine, and everything will be okay. I don't think Putin will be happy though. All right, what am I doing next? Let's see. What is this? Forge 20 items. Alright. What have I got left to do? The dailies, mine 10 items and use my resin. Okay. Let's go and see Catherine.
Add Astra. Come take a look. Thank you for that catches your eye. Add Astra.
I think you'd have to, really. I don't think the dull sword the Traveller starts with is going to do much against the Russian war machine. Oh, I didn't mean to pick you. Then again, we all thought, Russia was going to smash Ukraine in a couple of days, and it hasn't quite happened. So maybe a dull blade would be enough. All right, let's. Nice amount of Mora. It's going to help with the fund for crowning Ayato's E. Let's go and do a bit of Spiral Abyss while we wait for this to go up to 30. And get some resources from the old Spiral Abyss. So what have they changed in this Spiral Abyss? What's new, or is it the same? What? Show characters. It's the same, I think, right? Because this is the buff for Ayato. Check the opponents. Yeah, I think it's the same as the last. I really like Zhongli's meteor is a bit like a nuke, isn't it? I mean, it comes flying down and just a massive. And if worst comes to the worst, Zhongli's shield is so strong, it probably can take a nuke, right? Alright, let's see who the enemies are. And it doesn't matter for floor 9 and 10, you can just literally take anyone. So who will I take? Oh, I don't know. We'll take Cat. We'll take that same team we just had. And we've got Hydro first. Yeah, so alright, we'll take these guys second. Kaz, Bennett, and Zhangling, and Tomato. Where is he? Come on, Tomato. And who shall we have? I'll take Morgana team, I think. Oh, he will have it. Maybe I'll take Freeze team. Oh, I suppose Morgana is Freeze, but who do I want? I don't need to pick Rosaria, Venti, Komi, Ayaka. Or should I take Ganyu? We'll take Ayaka. We'll take the two Kamisatos. Yeah, definitely more crit, please. These are the archers. Yes, I. Sorry, my kid. It really is. But on these like early floors, you don't even need to use anyone's burst. You can just use normal attack. Don't have to use any skill. Just do whatever you think you want to do.
You can't run. Shiver.
Where have I gone? They're like totally disappeared. Alright, let's get rid of these guys because they're causing the problem. Good morning, Sweet Pea. How are you? Oh, great. Got Mona. That's great news. Well, I'm happy for you too. For you too.
I will not stand for this.
So who's next on your wish list then? Are you going to go for Ayaka?
Nice maneuver.
Oh, you've already got Ayaka, haven't you? I think you've already got
Here we
Ayaka.
go. My apologies.
Oh, this little guy's still alive. I think you've got Ayaka, haven't you, Rose? That's so you can have Diona, Ayaka, Mona. Yeah, you do. So you got perfect freeze team, and just use Sucrose for the time being until you get Kazuha. That's perfect.
Nice and spicy.
Cascade.
The wind knows me.
Oh yeah, and you've got Venti now actually, haven't you? You can just use Venti.
Get them.
Just have the standard Morgana set up.
Let's light it up.
You know what? Tile still has his use, right? Because he applies Hydro quicker than Ayato. So for reverse vape, he's better than Ayato is. The only problem with him is it's the same reason most people like him. For me, is I don't like the Riptide mechanic because it means basically it feels like too much work for me. Because if you haven't got someone to group the enemies together to hit all of them to get the Riptide mechanic, which basically the more enemies you're fighting with Child, the more damage he does, but you got to hit each of them to have that Riptide thing over their head, and it just becomes a bit too much effort for me. I think in a taser team it would be alright because everyone's getting shot constantly, you know, so they're kind of CC'd, the enemies. But I don't have my official Beidou built yet. They're on my to-do list. Like they're next basically after Kokomi. After I do the crowns I'm doing, then I'm doing Kokomi. Then I'm gonna do Yanjin. Then I'm gonna do Beidou official. Specifically for a taser team, and then I'll probably wheel my Child out again because he's just been sitting in my inventory not doing anything for literally months.
Judgment. Punishment. Hold the line. Take flight.
But I don't think Ayato replaces Child. I think that oh, this guy's still alive. I think it's more like he offers a different, it's similar but different what he does. Oh shit!
My apologies.
Alright, I'm just gonna do my best to get rid of these guys quickly.
Rest and rebuild.
Yeah, he's like Child's one of those like characters. I think if I was still playing games like how I did before I got married and stuff, you know, like I was really into them, I would like Child more because he's one of those characters. I think if you were like playing this game all day long and you're spending a lot of time in it, you want to refine, you want to master the most difficult kind of techniques and stuff, and he's one of those characters. But yeah, at this point in my life, I don't really want my video games to be difficult because I don't have time to like get good at everything. Those days are gone for me. I want an easy ride when I play it.
Cascade.
Who's freezing me? You. You. And your mate over there. I'm pressing E and it's not doing it. Thank you.
The wrong test subject.
Get out of here.
So not used to having Kazuha my number one slot.
Cascade.
But yeah, I think I will wheel my Child out again. I'll start using him again at some point. I got to build him up a bit though, because he's only on talent like 8 for his E and his Q, and his stats aren't very good. So I'd have to go and farm some Heart of the Depth, which I don't mind doing because this Ayaka could use a couple slightly better pieces. She's not really optimal. It's just like a lot of work, you know, like when you've got so many characters you're trying to build.
Take flight. Yahoo!
Well done, son.
Lights out. Uphill battle. Hold the line. Whirling snow. Torrent, bring refuge. My apologies. Punishment. Here we go. Take flight. Sakura swirl. Yahoo! Rest and rebuild.
Come on, big boy, hurry up and die. Unfortunately, he's cryo, so I'm not doing a lot of damage to him.
Let's play.
Sure, he's still on cooldown.
Allow me. My apologies. Here to play.
Into the wind.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Clouds high. The birds call. One with nature.
Be still.
Eat this.
Kamisato up. Sweet.
There we go. Right, where are the enemies? Wait, what? Oh, it's an age. I was wondering where they were. Alright, let's continue. Into floor 10. Who are the opponents? I think we can take anyone there. Alright, probably want Pyro first. So let's change it. Let's take Hutao for a spin. Where is this guy, this girl, and I'll need Zhongli if I want to take Ganyu because she's so squishy. No, we're not going to take Ganyu then. Maybe Ayato team. We could use Zhongli there. Alright, we'll just take Ayato instead. Take that same team we just had. We could take Zhao. I heard that Ayato Sunfire team's quite good. We'll try that out. Where's Jean? So we want Bennett. I think it's Bennett. Oh, we can't have Bennett. Shit. Alright, we can't take Sunfire team. We'll take Ito team, but with Diona for shielding and healing. That should. Where is Diona? Gore Ito, let's roll. I hope they rerun like Ito next patch, because I really want his weapon, and I hope they don't stick it with the Unforged again. I hope that the secondary weapon is something decent. Ito getting banged up. Like,
Time to go. Everybody stand back. Let witness the power of good one.
This is order.
Huh? Adventure time.
yeah, I thought he would D2 because you know, like that ninja girl that's coming. She's like the deputy leader of the Arataki gang. So and she's meant to be a 4-star, right? So it makes sense that she would they'd rerun Ito basically with her. Zhao as well. So what's that? Zhao's 3rd rerun. That would make sense as well because there's the new set, right, for Zhao. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Coming to be.
Advance. Let's roll.
Ito's another one who I think I feel like he's a bit like Ayato in that they're very balanced characters, and so when they're built right, they have got high damage ceiling, but there's nothing really like broken about them where they're just a bit too strong, you know, like broken in a bad way where they're just too strong in certain aspects.
Feel this ancient power.
Rally.
Oh god.
It's showtime. Let's roar. Huh. Cha.
Geo resistance.
Cha.
Go. 20% attack.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Huh?
Solidified.
Drain outlines your fate.
Oh, that didn't hit anyone.
Cross over.
He's dead already. Yeah, I think like those new materials are going to be for like Yilan and for that ninja girl, because they've not been used on anyone yet, have they? I think they need to, dude. We didn't have a new Hydro character since Kokomi, and before that was, I think, Child. Like, there's very few Hydro characters in the game, so I think it was going to balance it out. And I'm wondering if it's something to do with how Dendro's going to work. Perhaps, almost certainly that like the meta's going to change right when Dendro comes out. So perhaps you need Hydro to, like more Hydro to combat Dendro effectively, and that's why they're giving us more Hydro characters than we had previously. I don't know, it's all speculation at the minute, but I think that they are needed. We had a distinct lack of Hydro characters. I think also that's because Hydro is so underrated. Because all the best reactions in the game are due to Hydro. Like, so Hydro is like the driver for all the main reactions in the game. That's why, like, like Jincho, Mona, like they were in so much demand. Kokomi kind of out-utility Mona in terms of Hydro application, but to this day, no one's better for a vape team than Jincho. His Hydro application is perfect. And he was a released character. Came out like a year and a half ago when the game was released, and he's a 4-star. Yeah, I'm not gonna go for Yilan. Perhaps on my wife's old account, I'll get her there, depending on who, like, how she plays and stuff. If she's got a high potential to be support, then yeah, I'll try and get her. Because that account's on 75p but 50/50. And obviously if I lose the 50/50, I'm not going to waste the guarantee until Kazuha comes around. I think I've got like 140 wishes saved there. So got enough wishes to go back up if I lose the 50/50. And if I win the 50/50, I only need to get 40 more wishes to basically have enough to lose another 50/50 and then win another guaranteed Kazuha. So pretty soon I will have the option to risk a 50/50 on another character on that account, and I really need it on that account. I need a change of teams. It's so boring just playing the same two teams over and over every day. I don't know how like free-to-plays do it, to be honest. I would have left the game a long time ago if I didn't have the ability to just play different characters at my choosing.
Char, witness my great undertaking.
Look at you,
You should definitely get him. Like, I'd say that game on both accounts, but obviously that's going to be a bit tricky with your like resource management, side of things.
Can't catch me.
Let's roll.
He to me is like Bennett, like just like a character that makes everything more easy. Whichever team you put him in, he's going to help. Even like a Mono Geo team, he will help. Like and for open world for exploration, but like every kind of facet, he's a helpful character. He's basically the Animo Bennett. Just there's no healing, that's all.
Coming to be. Moments of birth.
Listen.
Pull in. Let's roll.
Live.
Oh, Goro, what are you doing? This guy's shield just doesn't want to break. Alright, now it's gonna
Who
break.
wants some of this?
Maybe not.
Attaboy.
But am I even gonna do it in time?
Burst forth.
I can't break his shield.
Advance. Everyone on me. Let's roll.
Hey, this is floor 10, isn't it? We have it. Fine. You don't have to do it in 7 minutes, do you? I don't think so.
It's showtime.
Fine. In which regard, D2? Expensive as in, like, to build, the high investment? If that's the case, yeah, because you've got to invest in all of them. Yeah, you got to build them all quite well. The only one you can get away with not building well is Goro, because he's literally just dropping his buffs and getting off the field. But yeah, Albedo you got to build up because he's sub defense. Zhongli you got to build up so he's strong enough to, you know, do what Zhongli does. Obviously Ito being your main deeps, you got to build him up. And I tend to not use, like now, I tend not to use Albedo. I put Bennett in, but Bennett was busy on the other team. What am I doing in here? I want to see opponents. Okay, it's defending the monolith. I hate this defending the monolith one. I find it really, really annoying. Okay, so I think we'll take. You don't know what to take here. I'm going to take the freeze team here. How are you, Rosie? Get lost sometimes. Where are the characters I want? Should we take Kaz in this team? Let me just see the opponents again. We'll take Venti. I'm in the middle of Spiral Abyss now, Masulinia Nath, and no offense, but I don't like it when random people come on my stream and the first thing you ask me for is a account review. We can hang out, get to know each other. Well, in that case, I definitely won't be doing an account review, mate. Comey and who's the last one? Who are the opponents again? That's the. I go for this. What should I take? I suppose we could do the same team actually. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, but I'm not really. I'm in my middle age, right? I guess Masulia. You're kind of like in your 20s, probably. Yeah. Got a bit of ego. Need to show something off because something ain't maybe going too right for you in the real life, in the real world. You need to flex in a video game. It's a single player game. And then when you don't get your way, you have to start cussing the guy in the stream, right? Got your psychology, mate. Right, let's continue. Alright, where am I going? Sorry, I had to talk to my wife. Right, what am I doing? You're 17. Well, that explains quite a lot why you want to flex. Because you haven't, like, flexed in real life yet. I don't want to use Zhao. If I want to use Zhao, I will use Zhao and I won't take Kazuha, will I? I'll put Jean in there. I'll put Albedo in there and I'll take Zhao. I want to have fun. I don't want to play meta teams, be a meta slave. I want to put characters in I want to play because it's my account. Venti, can't you see he's already here, mate? He didn't flex that. Come on, bro, man. You should like learn to chill rather than jumping on people's streams and straight away asking for a counter review. It's rude. Alright, now who am I going to take? I'm going to take Ito. Take the same team. Where is my Albedo? I quite enjoy playing Ito. I don't play him a lot. No, I don't think you can help me a lot. I think I can play all of those teams if I want to. No offense, mate. But you play your account. I'll play mine.
Solidify.
Are you? Obviously, because you're 17, you think it's important to be good at video games, don't you? Instead of actually being good at real life. I get it. Alright, you'll learn the ways. This is the way.
Who wants some of this?
No, Robbie's not here. He'd be laughing his ass off if he was.
Feel this ancient power.
Order guide you.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Oh my god, here we go, we're getting
One with
the,
nature.
the bots are coming on now as well.
Attaboy.
The advertising bots.
Let's roll.
It's funny, isn't it?
Can't catch me.
I will stop the bot in my own time.
Bam.
The bot won't continue anyway.
It's showtime.
I need to get my phone to stop the bot. Can't be bothered now. Yeah, no shit. Is he a bot? Really? Wow, Masulina. I never knew he was a bot.
Time for takeoff.
Thanks for letting me know, mate. It's good to know this stuff.
Yeah, embrace the ice. You can't run. Punishment.
You guys are funny. You give me
Get
joke.
away.
You do give me joke on my Easter Sunday.
Bring refuge. Yahoo!
Yeah, you're right, DT. The shame of it is that people don't read my blurb where it says like I'm a casual gamer. I'm not a tryhard. I don't care about. You've seen when I do Spiral Abyss, I don't care about getting 36 stars. Like I do it once and I'm done with it. I can go back and get 36 stars if I want to. I don't want to. I like to have fun. Yeah, I know he is Matulia, but he's left now. He's left the stream. I mean, I will ban him. But also, I was in the middle of combat. I'm not going to bring up the map screen. I'm not going to ruin my game to ban a bot when I can just do it now when I'm not in combat. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I stream every day, mate. I do know he's a bot. But I do need to also open up my restream options from here to actually stop him. So give me a moment and I will stop him. But this is why I don't like having to moderate these bots, because they don't stay for long. They just come, drop their crap and they go. And it just takes a bit of time for me to like ban him.
Stabilize.
I'm a small time streamer anyway, so these bots, they don't hang around. I don't get a lot of viewers, mate. I'm casual. I'm not going to be the best in the world. I like to just have a laugh. You know, we hang out, we play, we talk, that sort of thing.
Attaboy.
I mean, I could try hard if I wanted to, but I don't see the point, because then we can't have a laugh when I'm playing and talk. You know what I mean?
Can't catch me. One with nature. As one with
Yeah,
wind
they
and
literally
cloud.
just, they don't stay, because they know they're going to get banned, right, get muted, so they just drop their advertising and then drop off the stream.
You can't run. Shiver. Let's play. Whirling snow. Huh. Ah. Yeah. Covenants of the deep.
Damn.
Brace yourself.
Okay, I'll brace myself. How about you brace yourself, Benty?
Yeah. Kamisato art. Sumetsu. Time for takeoff.
Is everyone dead? There's more, is there? There's more!
Judgment.
Oh, I did it the wrong way around. Should have done a
Take
E
flight.
first or burst after.
Ah. Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Alright, let's go. AR-45 Ascension, yeah. I mean, you obviously know, right, Masunya, not to farm artifacts before you get to AR-45, because once you're at AR-45, you get definite gold drops.
One with nature.
Save all your fragile resin, I hope you have been for all that period of time.
Moment of birth.
Who wants some of this? Ah!
I mean, I wish you luck, mate, with your artifact ground, but it does take a while.
Solidify.
Wind strike. Live.
I mean, you might get lucky. There is always that. You could get lucky. I got lucky with my Ayaton. had him hitted in the new set within like 1 week. Within a week he was at like 60. No, he's at 80 crit rate and 160 crit damage. So that was lucky, but most of my characters take a I'd say on average about a month of farming to get
Yahoo!
those sort of stats. And that's not even really great
Think you can
stats.
get
That's
away?
just about sort of decent, like
You can't run.
80, 160.
Billowing surge. Embrace the ice.
No, you can't sword Geo, mate.
The insect punished. Yeah. Time for
Geo
takeoff.
unfortunately cannot be swirled. Basically, it just doesn't react with any element. The only thing that it will do will create crystallized shield shards
You
of
can't run.
the element it
Here
interacts
we
with.
go.
I mean, I'm wondering if they're going to make it be able to interact with Dendro. If maybe Geo and Dendro will work together. Because if you think about it, like Geo would be like the earth, and Dendro would be the plants coming from the earth. There is a certain natural synergy.
Punishment.
But let's see what happens when it is released.
Yeah. Take flight. You can't run.
Oh, congratulations, you got Ayaton's weapon. It's very good. Let's make this dog on that mist island. Level D2. Alright, you will make me jealous. Okay. Alright. Okay. I mean, I don't want to play Ayato, but I could make you jealous if you see my Ayato's weapon and the constellation of my Ayato. So, let's not go there, bro. Haran, not Harzan. Haran. Get the name right. Harran. Haran something. No, is it Gapuku Futsu? Haran Gapuku Futsu, I believe the full name is. Alright. Oh, thanks for joining my stream, Masulina. You're actually making me laugh. Yeah, I did say Geo has crystallized reaction. I said it creates shards that give you shields, and that's the only reaction it makes. But thank you for yes, making my stream funny. Yeah, well, that's right. If you're free to play, like literally, congratulations getting the sword. That's really, really good. That's good luck, because normally the weapon banner like scams you badly. So I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Alright, I'm going to take Freeze Team second. Wait, I think I'll take Ayato first, actually. Let's just have a look. There's no Hydro, is there, on the first? Hydro, Cryo, Flowers, Pyro. Okay, it's fine. We can get Melt off. Yeah, it really is. Like, getting weapon as free to play is really, really, really good. Congratulations. I'm happy for you, matey. D6, R5. Yeah. Did you know there's 2 reasons I don't believe you, mate? 1, you're 17. And 2, you're free to play. And you're not AR45 yet, so no way you had the resources to get a C6 and an R5. But you can try. You can keep trying to fool me. Where is this guy? And this girl and this girl. And here let's take Ayato. I'll take Zhongli just in case. And we'll take Reverse Vape. Alright, let's do Reverse Vape. I don't have any CC in that group. Nah. Don't really care. I'm just burning time until my resin refreshes.
It's my lucky day.
Judgment. Lights out.
The only weapon you get as free to play is the Favonius Warbow that you get free on the story quest.
Taurus, bring refuge. Sakura swirl. Rolling snow.
Well, free to pay. Not free to play, free to pay. Free to open wallet, that's what I call it. Oh no way, dude. I don't have CC. I'm not a whale. I'm like a mini dolphin. So I usually, if I like the character, I'll get the weapon. But I was trying to build pity for the next banner, and in my first temples I got a C1 Ayato. So that made me spend a bit more money just to get C2, because C2 is better than C1. But the weapons, I never go for refinements on the 5-star weapons. I'm not a rich man. I'm a normal man. And also not a stupid man with money. So that's just stupidity. Spending like thousands and thousands on a video game that you're probably going to stop playing in a few months. Don't see the point.
Wind strike.
Take flight. Embrace the ice.
Yep, that's right. And that's if you're that's like generous, I think, D2. That's if you don't, like have to go up to like high rolls every time if you get them early on a couple of the pools. I think it's probably more about, like, if you want C6 and R5 weapon, I think you're looking at about 1,500 to 1,800 if you're unlucky, which is just a ludicrous amount of money to get a virtual character and a virtual weapon. I'm sorry, I just don't see the sense of that. I'd rather spend that money taking my family on holiday or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Don't make no sense to me.
Wind strike.
She's pretty good. She's my favourite cryo DPS. I prefer her to Ganyu. I prefer Ganyu in a melt team. So I think for me, they've both got separate places to put them. Yeah, and you got Ayato, right? Is that right? You got the wrong Kamisato.
Gather.
Everybody stand back.
Unfortunately, this is the way of this game.
I will have order.
And if you're free to play, then oh crap, I did that wrong rotation. then the problem becomes that you can't beat the 50-50, if you know what I mean. When you're free to play, you have to sort of take what the 50-50 gives you.
This is order.
The only way to sort of get around that is, you know, either have a stockpile of like hundreds of wishes, which you'd have to be playing for months to have, or you open the wallet. Lordies. I mean, you don't need constellation. Let us be honest, right? You don't need constellations on 5-star characters. You most certainly do on your 4 stars, and you don't need refinements on your weapons to be able to clear Spiral Abyss. If you've planned your account correctly as a free-to-play from the beginning, and you've been pulling on the right characters to synergize with the characters you've got to get the maximum damage, then you don't need those things.
Don't we have a job to do?
Okay. I understand that.
You can't run.
But it's not too bad having the Haran, considering you've got Ayato. But yeah, my recommendation, I was saying this yesterday on stream, out of the 2 characters, and I've got them both,
One with nature.
I kind of personally wish I'd put those resources into getting a C2 Ayaka instead of getting Ayato. Because I've had her since she was released, and I play her on both my accounts. She's my main cryo DPS. You know, I play her a lot. Whereas with Ayato, I use him the way I use Raiden Shogun, which is very kind of sparsely. I'm only playing him a lot now because he's my new shiny toy. But I really don't play it. I don't think I'm going to be playing him a lot, like on a regular daily basis, once I'm bored of, you know, him being a new toy.
My apologies.
Yeah, I'm not planning to pull for her either. Perhaps on my second account, but that all depends on how good she ends up being or not ends up being.
Covenant of the Deep.
Let's just hope she's not another Yay Miko, where everyone was like, yeah, she's gonna be dope, and she turns out to be doggers. Man, of that Bennett burst. Give me Bennett burst.
Everybody stand back. You're toast. Race you.
Be still.
Get the snapshot. Thank you.
Not the plan.
Oh no, Ayato's dead. Wait, what floor is this? I'm gonna have to restart. I can't do the third floor without Ayato. There's no way I can do 2 floors without the main DPS. The thing is, right, with the Amika, even I thought she'd be powerful, because if you think about her in the storyline, who else can enter Raiden Shogun's plane of euthymia? Only her, so she should be really powerful, right? And Raiden Shogun treats her as an equal. But in terms of like actually in the game, they're nowhere near equal.
One with nature.
Allow me. Whirling snow.
Wind strike. The wind knows me.
Punishment. My apologies.
One thing I dislike about Ayato as well, his burst is a lot like Ganyu's, where there's so many particles dropping down. Sometimes it gets a bit difficult to see what the hell is going on. I suppose I should just lower my graphics settings and then I can see, but meh to that.
Take flight. Embrace the ice.
Wind strike.
Hopefully the Dendro Archon will be good. Hopefully, because Raiden Shogun is amazing. Venti's a bit lackluster now, but when he dropped, he was amazing. When he first dropped. I'm hoping Kazuha will be soon, before we get Sumeru, but the Mihoyo know that he's such a wanted character, right? The more anticipation they build up, the more sales he's going to get.
osmanthus wine tastes the same.
That's true, D2. At first, right, I thought it was because like we actually were playing the puppet, you know, the Raiden Shogun puppet, so it wasn't as powerful as the actual Raiden as A. But it turns out our Raiden Shogun is actually A, the playable one, so that theory didn't hold weight. So yeah, I never understood that, why she's so powerful in the actual lore. Oh crap, change. Really powerful in the lore, but yeah, when you actually use them, it's just not that powerful. I can't change it. I have to get some healing up. Healing up, please.
Be still.
Oh, I picked the wrong team for this. At least with Venti though, it made sense, right? You know, like how they explained him being so weak and all that kind of stuff. There was logic behind it, but as soon as we got to Inazuma, and even with Zhongli, like there was logic behind him, like stepping back from being the Archon and all that kind of stuff. But with Raiden Shogun, it just didn't make sense. She was so powerful. Oh, but this is the wrong team. I'm gonna quit and change team for this. I wonder if we switch the teams around. If they really want that money, they could drop a character even free to play with. They would. Because of second phase. Yeah, but they. So with Mihoyo, right? I think they're fully aware they need to keep their free to play players, right? Because of the flex thing that we're talking about, right? Because the whales want to flex. It's like, this is MMO logic, right? In an MMO, you need to keep your free-to-play players because the whales want someone to show off in front of, and you can't show off in front of another whale because they got the same things as you. So they need free-to-play players to flex in front of. And sometimes it's weird. Sometimes you see they're catering for the free-to-play players, but then sometimes you can see they're purposely going to do something like the new weapon banner that's coming. That who's gonna pull on that except a whale? Even I've wanted that missplitter for like 6 months, and I'm probably not gonna pull on that weapon banner. So I don't know where the balance is in their logic. They've got like really good bad logic. That's right, dude. I have got like M-Tash. You have got like M-Tash. Okay. Let me just check who these enemies are again before I go back in there, because I need it to be easy because I'm talking to you guys. Oh yeah, I need freeze team second. That's all it is. I'm taking this wrong teams in the wrong way. Wrong order. Yeah, of course they do. That's why you get the people dropping. And Masulina, I think like you were just a troll at first. I don't think you wanted to flex, but I don't like people that... sometimes I get people that jump on my stream, and in the early days I'd do the account reviews, and I've reviewed people that spend like $15,000 plus on their accounts, right? And all it is them getting an ego boost to make themselves feel better about actually wasting that amount of money. That's all it is. That's the psychology of it. And so I tend to refrain from doing account reviews unless you're a regular viewer and we hang out every day and you want some advice on your account or you want to flex in front of me. That's fine, because we kind of hang out, we know each other. But when randos come on my stream, random people, and they want to flex, I kind of like gets on my tits a bit. And yeah, at first I thought you were one of those. I thought you were like a high spender, but obviously you're just a bit of a troll. Which I prefer, because like we could have a laugh together rather than you getting upset when I say no, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna massage your ego because you've got a lot of money to waste on a video game. Am I on floor 12? Oh yeah, I am. I didn't even notice because this is how I play, dude. I just hang out, we chat. I don't really pay attention to stuff. That's what I think, D2. I think like the Welkin and the BP, right? They're like the same price as an MMO subscription used to be. You know, like it used to be $10 to $15 a month, like a Netflix subscription, before everything went free to play. And that's how what I feel supports the game and the most value. You get they're the things that will give the player the most value back. Genesis crystals are a rip-off, mate. You get, I think it's 5 temples for $100. Are you serious? 5 temples for $100? But that's it. That's how this game is. It's a rip-off. Straight away, I agree with anyone who says it's a rip-off. Right, who are we taking first? Let's have a look. I think I need to take Venti. Venti with Ayato, that might work actually. Venti and actually, let me put Kaz in that group and I'll take Venti here. Kaz here, Bennett, and Motto, and here we'll have you, and you. My biggest number? I don't know what my biggest number is, dude. I don't play for damage per screenshot. Use any character to hit at least 1 million. I'm not a whale. But if you want to hit 1 million with characters, you need to. Those guys are whales. Like they've got C6 and R5. Plus I'm inspired Abyss, so I can't use food anyway. But I can't hit that high. I think maybe 600k is probably my highest. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Elon Musk. Oh, like see D2. There's this other set of people that like I played MMOs for like over 20 years, and there's another set of people that actually can't afford how much they're spending on the game, and often they're the ones who need to flex because they're hurting their finances in real life, and they've got some, I don't know, mental health issues or something that makes fitting into the outside world more difficult. So rather than flexing in the outside world like most people do, they come and flex in a video game. But secretly, when you get to, like, if they're in your guild or something, I've gotten to know these people often, and you find out their actual financial situation. They're not rich, they're not happy with their finances, they're in debt, and they're spending stupidly on a video game. And that's why certain games that are quite can you shut him up? That's why, sorry, my son's crying for nothing. That's why, like, certain people like that, they have these like problems that get worse by having these sorts of games. That's why some people call these games predatory. I personally don't, because it's not the game's fault, it's the person not addressing their mental health issues before jumping into a gambling situation. And that's what gacha is. Gacha's a gambling situation, isn't it? So yeah, more often than not, the people that are flexing aren't the ones that can actually afford to be a flexing, from my experience in these games. You do very rarely get the occasional guy who's just rich, right? His parents were rich, or he's rich, and they can afford to do what they're doing. But in my experience, most people who are at that stage of really high whaling can't actually afford it, and just need it to, you know, stroke their personality, make themselves feel better about life, the universe, and everything.
Time to go.
I will have order.
Yeah, Bennett is probably the most used 4-star, by the way. Masulina.
Why do they never
Him and Jingcho, without doubt, those two are the most used 4-stars. And then probably Sucrose third, I think.
Teamwork is trip.
Be still. The depths beckon. Order guide you.
Wind Strider.
Let's light it up.
I'm not talking about you, Masulina. I'm talking about like most people like that spend more, like most people that have got really cracked accounts are not people that can genuinely afford to have those cracked accounts, and they put themselves into debt. You're free to play, you said, so obviously you're not going to be in debt or anything like, you know, because you're being smart with where you are in your life, right? You know what your financial situation is. A lot of these people, because once you've got credit cards, it's very easy to just, you know, like just go and top up, and it doesn't feel like you're spending real money until that bloody statement comes at the end of the month and you've actually got to pay it back. Rosario the Fourth? I don't think so. I think Rosario's used very little. I think she's had a resurgence in the last, maybe the last year. Oh, I've done the wrong thing there. But I don't know who the fourth would be, to be perfectly honest.
Brace yourself. My apologies. Kamisato art. Sumetsu. Time for takeoff. Here we go. Yeah. Take flight. Yeah. Covenant of the deep. Rest and rebuild.
I should have bought DPS Kokomi instead of support Kokomi.
You can't run. Punishment. Whirling snow. Allow me.
How much time is left? 4 seconds. Is this chamber 2 or 1? Is that chamber 1? Oh god, I'm not gonna get 36 stars. Oh well. I don't really care. Oh well.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night. Into the wind.
Cascade.
Okay, that's good. So you got 80% back. That's better than
I will have order.
getting nothing back.
Everybody stand back.
I mean, I've heard a lot of those stories, DT, about children, but I mean,
One with nature.
to be honest, it's your uncle's fault for not putting, you know, like parental controls on his iPad. It's not your little sister's fault. That's the adult's fault in that situation. But this sort of game, you're not going to find like little kids like that playing it. Do you know what I mean?
That was uncalled for.
With something like Roblox, like yes, it's a kid's game, isn't it?
Take flight. Sakura swirl.
I don't know where Restream went. Massolina, no idea.
Billowing surge.
Let's heal up Benty a bit. Oh shit!
You can't run. What a nuisance. Brace yourself.
Let's get away from these guys. They're hitting me too hard.
Judgment. Allow new
Damn.
strategy needed.
There's no blood in Genshin. I mean, when you kill an enemy, oh, I'm gonna die. When you kill an enemy, they just like pop. You know, they just disappear. This is not going well, is it, guys? Yeah, and also, DT, your credit card, the credit card company won't flag it as well. You know, if it's lots of small purchases, but if it's like one big one, the credit card company might phone you up and say, like, "Oh, was this legit? Was this you that made this purchase?" So it could have been that as well.
Stabilize.
Into the wind.
I'm going in.
Kamisato art. Suiyu. Cascade.
I don't know what you mean, Massolina.
Winds.
Let's play. Time for takeoff. Hold the line. My apologies. Embrace the ice. Judgment. Shiver. Covenant of the deep.
Dang, Mummy said she's tired.
How rude. Think you can get away?
Sorry, guys. Family's here today.
You can't run. Rest and rebuild. Take flight. Kamisato art. Sumetsu. Yahoo! Yeah. My apologies.
That went a bit better. Yeah, first time I brought the wrong team, basically. This time just now I was busy just chatting to you, not even looking at what I was doing in the game. 20% skull damage, yeah, we'll take that. Who are we fighting? More lectors.
Solidify.
We want Bennett first, please.
Teamwork
Okay.
is strength.
Clouds high. The birds call. The wind knows me.
This
Thank
is
you.
order.
Let's light it up.
Be still.
37k, 40k there from each side. Bad.
Into the wind.
Going in.
Mind the deluge.
Yeah, they are very annoying mobs.
I will have
I
order.
like them because because they are hard, but yeah, at the same time I do dislike fighting them as well. It's better than just fighting bloody hilly shells.
One with nature.
I got only. Is there only one of them left? Right, that's good.
Be still.
Come on. Great. He definitely is against anything that's got a shield that obviously isn't a Hydra shield. He's very good against Pyro shields. It's pretty good against Electro shields, even though obviously like a Cryo is better. But because he's just hitting so quickly, and they do quite a lot of damage, his strikes. Unfortunately, because I used the new set, the Oceans of the Offering, that 40k would be when that procced, and obviously I had all buffs up and stuff. And that is based on RNG. It's not a definite when you're going to get the buff, so you can't like sort of play around that, if you know what I mean. You can't plan to have that much damage all the time with that set. But when it does spike, it's amazing.
Yahoo! My apologies. Yeah.
God, no one's got their burst.
Sakura swirl. Whirling. Think you can get away? Lights out. Covenant of the deep.
I'm not going to do it in time. Oh well. These things happen.
Hold the line. Kamisato. Sumetsu.
Didn't mean to do that.
Time
That's
for
what I wanted to do
takeoff.
first.
You can't run. Shiver. My apologies. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, 4 seconds left. Yes, boys. 36 stars. It's very sloppy. As most of my Genshin is very sloppy. I never get the rotations right. I never get things done first time. I usually pick the easiest characters to play rather than anything just tricky. I'm totally casual. Alright, that was good. So let's see what we get from the boxes of loot. We got 4 of these. See, if that got crit rate on it, it wouldn't be bad for Zhao. These aren't ideal, but he is always on life support, that boy. So, go to this, as you said, D2. Yeah, it's not too great. Right, I don't want to look at that. Come on, give me Echoes of the Offering. I don't want it. Thank you. HP main stats, terrible. And finally, not very good. Okay, we didn't get anything from there. Here we're just going to get fodder. Okay. So, from my experience and talking to Robbie as well, it seems to be his experience. So I guess it's like the standard that sands tend to be the hardest ones to get, like the main stat and the secondary stats. You're basically like flowers and feathers are easy because you know what the main stats are going to be on those. And normally goblet is easy because you're normally going to go for a elemental goblet, and usually that's your off piece. So then the pieces that become difficult is the circlet and the sands, because obviously on the circlet you're trying to get one of the 2 crits or EM, and those are all 3 main stats that are hard to drop. Then you've got to drop them with the substats you want. And sands is the same thing, where you're trying to get the main stat you want, and it could be any of the main stats, and then you're trying to get the substats you want. So those tend for me to be the most difficult. But when you're first starting out the game, I feel the most difficult one to get is the goblet, the elemental goblet, because they are hard drop as well. But then once you've got a few of those, do you know what I mean? You can use off piece ones of those. That's what I tend to do. I think that's what most players do. So, but if you're trying to get an on-set elemental goblet, that's probably the hardest thing to drop. And then you got to try and get it with like substats. No, that's a nightmare. Like the majority of my elemental goblets are not very good. If you have a look at all my characters, oh, actually, that one's probably the best I've got. It's got 24% crit damage. That's not a good indicator. But yeah, most of my goblets are not very good. No, he's got 21%. Like my point here is being not displayed correctly, because my characters have actually got good goblets. But that's the general. God, she's got 21% as well. I'm going to shut up now. I would suggest saving every single goblet that you get, because you don't want to be in the position where you get a character and you don't have the goblet for them, and it might take you months to drop the goblet. It literally might take you like you know, Robbie who comes on here, he's played for a long time. I can't remember exactly when, but he only recently, about a month or 2 ago, got his first pyro goblet. Welcome back. And so that just goes to show it's you might not have the luck with elemental goblets. So if you get them, just keep them, even if they've got the worst substats. And I still do to this day. I keep all my elemental goblets, and like you're saying, EM, and with goblets, if there's good substats, I'll keep the attack ones as well, because you never know when you might want to try a full attack build, and it's better to have one with great substats than not. Yeah, I can have a look. What's your user ID? Can you type it in for me? Are you on EU server first? I hope you're on EU server, otherwise I'm not going to be able to do it. I know there's a bit of chat lag, so I'll give you a little bit for the reply to come through. Unfortunately, this is how YouTube chat is for me. Just have here and here. I bet you're like actually like not 17, and you're like You're an older man than I am, and a big whale, and you're very rich, and you got C6 R5 everything, haven't you?
I have to the land of
I can't review your account, dude, if we're not on the same server, sorry. I can't see your stuff. I'm on EU, and I don't have... my other account is my wife's old account, and that we used to play together, so that's on EU as well. So unfortunately, I cannot account review. I'm not going to go through the beginning of the game just to... on EU's Asia server just to account review. I would have, like, dude, because we've hung out now. You see, this is what I mean. If you hang out with me for a bit and we have a laugh, I'm happy to like go and have a look at your account. All right, I need to use some resin. Oh man, only 3 runs because I wasted someone going for child after child. I don't want to use either of these. I don't want to waste either of those things. I've almost got a 10 pull worth of wishes. I think I did my dailies, didn't I? Yeah, so how can I get a few more primos to make that to 10? Let's have a look. Actually, I wonder if I've got any wishes already saved. I got 1, right, so I only need 9. Perfect. Yeah, I should be able to make them. Let's go make a 10 pull. I can't trust myself with primo gems. I end up like using them for resin refreshes. So the way to defeat that is to change them into intertwined fates, and that way I can only spend them on wishing. And if I have created an Asia account by the next time you're on a stream with me, mate, I will have a look. Okay, I'll give you that promise. Right, D2. Like, I'm really bad with it because I'll open up this screen here and I'll just go like, oh yeah, just. In fact, now I'm gonna do that. But now it's all right. I've made a temple. If I can make a temple, like, you know, once every week or two, I'm all right to spend a bit of the primos on resin. But if I haven't done any, then I feel kind of like if it's bad because like I know what's going to happen. I'm going to spend real money to make up for the shortfall, right? And so better I don't do that. So which domain shall we do? Today is Sunday. Perhaps I should be doing talent books. Let's see how many prosperity and diligence we can make for the other 2 characters who I want to put crowns onto. Oh, what did I just do? No idea. Little light. What's that one? Elegance. We don't need these. Transience. Gold. Diligence. We need diligence. How many we got? We got 2. Can't make that many. Let's make as many as we can. Go make 7 of these. Make 1 more. Thank you, Jincho. Right, that's great. And prosperity. Is it prosperity? I thought does Xiao use prosperity? I thought he used diligence as well. Have I just got it wrong? I might just have it wrong. Yeah, I've just got it wrong. He uses prosperity.
The neighboring nation of Liyue has the most prosperous.
Attacking in Clash of the Clans. I honestly haven't played Clash of the Clans. Obviously, I've heard about it. It's so big, but I've never actually played it. Prosperity. There we go. It looks alright. But yeah, just because of my life now, you know, like being a family man, I literally have only enough time for Genshin. Or 10. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's have a look at who has what. So for Mr. Zhao, we only need 1 book. That's great, and the 2 boss drops. That was a long time ago, man. I used to have that on my phone as well. Because back in those days, before smartphones, that the Snake game was on like everyone's phone. Like, it was like one of the few games you had. Snake, maybe Tetris if you were lucky, and that was about it. Yeah, I remember playing Snake and Sony Ericsson when Sony and Ericsson used to make phones together back in those days. All right, what am I doing? Right, sorry, Xiao's done. Who was I checking? Ganyu. Ganyu needs 6 of these. We could go and get them today, because once these things, like once these level up material things are done, it's only these that I need. I don't really have anything else to do today with resin except artifact farming, which never ever gets me upgrades. So it just ends up being a waste of resin. Yeah, we're gonna go to here, Taishan Manor. Yeah, God, I remember that was like in the 90s or early 2000s. Snake. Yeah, when was it? I think the first iPhone came out in 2006. Back in that, so yeah, it was early 2000s, late 90s. A Snake on the phone. Diligence. No, well, we need 1 diligence actually. I'll do a 20 resin run here and do the rest in prosperity. That's good. Yeah, that's very good. Wait, who am I fighting here? Pyro, yeah, we can take this team. But we will make some substitutions. Actually, screw it, let's just make it easy. Go easy mode team. Level 70 is very good. Like that's the main thing I think with leveling characters. 70 just to unlock the final talent. What weapon is your Hu Tao using on that account? It's using Blackcliff.
Into the wind.
Yeah!
Time to go.
Whirling snow! Yeah! You can't budge!
Wind strike.
Lights out.
As one with wind and cloud. The wind knows me.
Can't run from
You can get to use Zoka. Ah, white tassel, okay. I'll have a look after this once I get the loot. Because I'm going to change domain now anyway. So, let's have a look. Hu Tao. Oh, sorry. Yeah, weapons. Oh yeah, let's have a look here. Oh, so you got this up a little bit. I think it was like, was it 43 or something the other day when you told me? Yeah. It works. Mainly because of this stat. That's why you got it, isn't it? But this passive isn't that isn't very helpful at all. Yeah, these two are your priority to level. I think, oh, you can see that, can't you? You've done this last. Yeah, these two are the priority. Yeah, I think it was 43 the other day when you were speaking. But that's good, like that's good. I'm trying to think what other options you've got here for her weapon. Let me just look in my weapon bag. Yeah, she's very good. Oh. Could there be like a better option? Because I try to keep the 3 stars as well, so I have an idea. What's this one? Oh, that's just an attack percent. Not very good. Okay, so there's not many options here. 4 star. Many options with 4 star either, really. For Because with 4-star, you're stuck with gacha, and see, if you could get BP, this would be perfect for her. Yeah, I think you probably got the best setup you can have, I think, for now. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then also, like, where you are, where your account is at the moment is fine. What is that other crit rate? I've got to look at my characters who are actually using pole arms. See, the thing is, you might end up dropping this because you get this on standard banner. I got this on the standard banner on both my accounts, and I think Rose got it. She's now called Sweet Pea. She, you know, comes into the stream. Like, she got it on standard account, standard banner, and maybe Robbie did. I can't remember for sure if Robbie did or not. But this would help a lot because the crit rate, and you get attack stacks, which is not ideal, but this one you could drop because you might get it on standard banner. I hope you do as well, because it's helpful for other characters as well. You can stick it on Zhongli as well. Like on my other account, I've got it on Zhongli because there's no Zhao on that account, and on this account it used to be on Zhongli as well before I got Zhao. So yeah, that hopefully you can get that, because the standard banner works 100%. It works this way, that one 5-star, say you get 5-star character, the next one will be 5-star weapon, and then the next one will be a character, and then the next one will be a weapon, and so on. So eventually you will get it. Do you know what I mean? Over the course of playing the game, it's just how long into playing the game when you get it. You don't want it to be like in 4 years or something, you know. You want it to be in like 4 weeks or 4 days or something like that. Prosperity. All right, let's go. Yeah, from what I've from the small sample size of talking to a few people on my 2 accounts, it seems that it's not difficult to drop on the standard banner. And I got that quite early on in my Genshin career. At the time I didn't have anyone to use it. It just sat in my inventory. I think it sat in my inventory until I got her. I was using it on her at first, on Rosaria, because I got Rosaria when she first came out, which was, I think, over a year ago now.
Yeah. Allow me.
That was a waste. I forgot which domain I was in. It's alright, Kazahar and Kokoni and Rosaria can deal with these agents.
One with nature.
Yeah, they're all dead. Okay. They're the stairs. Oh, I did the wrong resin on the other. Oh well. He lives and he learns.
Let's move out. Hold the line.
Into the wind.
Take flight. Lights out.
As one with wind and cloud. That hurts.
Oh, come on, Kazan, stop getting hit by that.
One with nature.
Lol, he didn't even have to do anything. The burst just killed them. No worries. It happens to us all, Masulina. Alright. Hopefully after this, we will have enough talent books. And then I'll just need Mora and the boss drops next week to use my last 3 crowns. Got the wrong person. What's wrong?
Can't run from death.
Him. Are you talking about your Ayato, Masulina? I would personally, I'm not going to crown his burst, his Q. I don't think it's worth it. And he's not someone I like enough to triple crown. But I am going to basically I'm going to use my 3 remaining crowns on Zhao's burst because that's what gives him this most damage. On Ayato's E because that's what gives him his most damage. And on Ganyu's auto attacks, because that's what gives her her most damage, or her normal attacks, I should call it. Oh, right, D2, yeah, sure, the time difference. Often, you know, you'll forget, friends forget about that when they live in certain areas. I think, Masolina, you'll probably find it easier to do the weapon. Weapons usually take less effort to get leveled up, at least to like level 70 or 80 where it actually becomes effective. Going from level 80 to 90 on a weapon is hugely expensive for both Mora and enhancement ores, but getting a character to 80 and his talents to say 8 or 9 takes a lot more resources than just getting the weapon to 80.
Day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about
Yeah, I'm
you
using his
tonight.
new artifacts now. D2. This is the set I've got on it, or this is his stats. 82, 163. So pretty much 1 to 2. And I got this set in the first week. Can you believe it? Like, he was kitted in the first week of release. Start with the flower. Flower's got 6% crit rate, 5% HP, 20% crit damage, 10% attack, and he scales off all of these things. And for his leaf, yeah, unfortunately, Masolina, it's probably because you're over in Asia that, and I'm over in the UK, so there probably is, you're the other side of the world, so there probably will be some network issues while you're watching me, unfortunately. Yeah, D2, this one, again, he scales off HP. I mean, the flat HP is not great, but it's good enough, these two. It's not great, but it's good enough. This, yeah, I've got him in attack sands, 20% crit damage on it. Defense is no help. Elemental mastery, a tiny bit of help, negligible. HP, yeah, he gets more damage for having HP. Stats. Yeah, this off piece, and again, he scales off all these things: attack percent, attack, HP, and crit damage, which is not great, but it's good enough. And yeah, crit rate circlet with only no rolls went into the crit damage. Unfortunately, it did all go into energy recharge, which I don't mind because he does need a bit of energy recharge, not a lot, but a bit on the substats. And yeah, these two are not very helpful. I mean, that a little bit helpful, that's no use at all. But considering I got all of this in 1 week of farming that domain, and in that 1 week of farming that domain, I also got a full set for Zhao with exactly the same oh, I haven't even leveled this up. With exactly the same crit stats as I had when I had him in two piece. And so I can really accurately assess if this set is better for Zhao, and it definitely is. I do about like 20 to 30% more damage with this set on Zhao. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at his stats. So yeah, his stats is, I think they're like 70, 160. There we go. And individual artifacts, 18 and 11. I mean, this is impossible to replace. Getting that much crit rate and crit damage is pretty good. The rest of the stats are irrelevant when you've got that. Yeah, this isn't so great. but because it's got 19% attack and it's Xiao, an attack scaling character, that makes up for these two only getting one rolling crit rate. And here we've got Taxans. This boy needs a lot of energy recharge, so I'm happy with that. I don't mind that because, as you know, he's usually on life support. One roll into that, one roll into that, that's fine because it's difficult to drop a Taxan, especially with double crit on it. And especially in 1 week of farming the bloody domain, do you know what I mean? I remember I got these 2 sets in 1 week, so that's why I'm alright with them. This I had lying around already. Again, it's perfect for him because attack is the second stat, and HP helps in useless defense, but no rolls went into it. 1 roll went into that. And finally, crit damage circler with no other crit on it, but beggars can't be choosers, right? And it's got like a bit of ER on it. That's not going to help. That helps a tiny bit. That's not going to help. But it's got the main stat I want. And so, considering it's only taken me 1 week of farming to get these stats on him, which are exactly the same as I had when he was in 2-piece Glad and 2-piece Viridescent, and the new character got his new set like 82 163, which I'm very happy with. I didn't even use him in any other sets. On the day I got him, I put him in child's gear just to try him out, and then I went about building him at the same time doing that domain, and I got this set. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I've never kitted a character that quickly from like literally having nothing for them to within 1 week I had 2 characters fully kitted from the domain. My rotation is Ayato Q, Diana Q, Beidou Q, Bennett Q, and Final E. So you do Ayato's burst, Diana's healing, so that you've got Cryo on the floor. You do Beidou Q to get her shield, so you get Electro Charge jumping between and getting Superconduct from Diana, and then Bennett Q. And I thought you didn't have Bennett. If you do have Bennett, you should do his Q before doing Ayato's, because Ayato's Q snapshots with Bennett's. So you get the for the duration of I guess you know what snapshotting is. Basically, it means if there's a buff that's available and the character can snapshot their skills onto that buff, the buff will last for the duration of the skill the character used rather than the duration of the buff. So say Bennett's buff lasts for 3 seconds and Ayato's lasts for 10 seconds. You do Ayato's on Bennett's, and then Ayato's doesn't last for 3 seconds, he lasts for 10 seconds. So yeah, do Bennett burst before you do Ayato burst. And Diana burst, it kind of helps, you don't really need to, but if you've got C6 Diana, then it's helpful because anyone standing in that burst gets an additional boost of EM, I think like 200, so it's a really good kind of like damage amplification. But yeah, just my main piece of advice is do Bennett burst before you do Ayato burst. Right, what am I doing? Let's do this. Nice, another level. What are the rewards? Hero wits, we'll take them. I'm low on hero wits. I'm always low on hero wits. I'm low on every bloody resource in this game. I've never had like a big stockpile of anything except mint. I've got a lot of mint, but that's about it. Alright, I think it's going to have to be a bit of the event. I want to try and get these quests sorted out. Where are we up to? Okay, get that. Oh my god, I haven't even done this. I've done this, yeah. Oh, what's this? Oh, I don't care about that. Into the Horde. What was this Into the Horde? I totally forgot what this is. Is this the Theatre Mechanicus? Show of what's that? Yeah, this is the Theatre Mechanicus, isn't it? That's doing the blocking event. That's flowers, right? Let's go and do this flower stuff.
A blade.
Gotta go down here. So guys, I'm just gonna go and grab a drink. I'll be right. Is it like a temple? Okay, that's good.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
Need to grab a drink. Alright, where are we now? Crap, 1 sec, sorry guys. I went out of range of my Bluetooth headset and now playing silly buggers because I have to disable the microphone in it.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gem.
Should have just left this headset. That's better. Now I can hear the game sounds. Right then, where are we? The flower girl is up here. I like the change in Ritu, you know, like all these NPCs around. It feels like there is an event going on. This little thing here that's quite cute. You can... I'm not meant to climb it, Ayaka. Alright, Fushizomi. Both must be connoisseurs of the past. I mean, it'd be nice if they make this like a annual event. It'll be great. Like with the one in Leeway. What's it called? The Lantern Rite. That's right. The Chinese New Year one. If they make this an annual one, it would be great. I thought they were going to make the Windbloom one be an annual event. Like Windbloom happened last year, where it was Venti's first rerun, and I think that's where they first introduced the hide and seek game. And I thought that, you know, like this Venti rerun, I thought it was we were gonna have Windbloom Festival at this time, because it was this time last year we got it. And I thought they were going to rerun Venti then. So I was 50% right. They did rerun Venti, but it's during the Iridori Festival. Alternatively, the way they could be doing is that every year they will redo the Lantern Rite Festival, because it's a Chinese game, right? And so Chinese New Year. But then the second event, like festival that happens around now, April, March-ish, they would make it a regional one. So the next year might be in Sumeru. It feels like it does, doesn't it? To me, it does. Like, it feels more lived in the world when there's changes like that. Like I was saying with the NPCs there, and there's little stalls, and there's kids there, and all that sort of stuff, family stuff. I'd much prefer if they could fit in like an annual event for every nation, because that way you could they could give out more free 4 stars. But they'd have to time it right, because, you know, like every patch we get Like this patch we get a free 4-star character, next patch we'll get a free 4-star weapon, then the patch of that will be a free 4-star character, and they have this repetition going on. So they'd have to stagger out the events, but then you'd run out of time in the year because each patch is 6 weeks, and eventually there's going to be 7 nations in Teyvat, and then they're probably going to end up adding other areas like Celestia or some unknown areas that we don't know about. So yeah, I'm not sure if they could run that in the long-term planning of the game. Alright, I hope I don't have to do too much with this flower planting stuff. Right, great. We'll get help if we can't fix the puzzle. Okay. I feel quite eager. Don't care about my teapot. Honestly, I do not care about my teapot. What am I supposed to do? The purple sakura lies sparse. The clear sand is fragrant. I have no idea. Oh, did you? Okay, great. I'll just pick anything then. Oh, there's more stuff. Ah, right. Okay, well then you knew what you're doing. I have no idea. I'm just picking whatever. Oh, it says incomplete. How do we... Let's check this again. Purple sakura lies sparse and clear sand is fragrant. So we need the yellow one and we need this and sand. Okay. So we've got the sand, we've got the blue one. We don't need... Oh, here we get more stuff. Base, moonlight, sand, I think we have. Soon swing. Excuse me, sorry. So we got the swaying Shion. Main flower. Okay, it doesn't say the main flower. Front left, a short champagne bloom. Okay, front left. Oh, I'd already picked it. Okay, front center, medium height champagne bloom. Oh wait, did I do this one the wrong height? Yeah, we want this to be short, don't we? Front right, short champagne. Front center, medium height champagne. So front center is medium. Yeah, this is medium. And this should be tall. Front flower back left. Flower back left. A medium height champagne bloom. Medium height champagne bloom. And the... Oh, one sec, sorry, my front door. My wife just getting her bloody stuff on Amazon delivered. Right. Oh, I think my headset's running out of battery. Sorry. This. You took the Wave Rider to Leeway from Inazuma. Wow. I didn't know you could do that. I thought that was not possible. I guess they patched it. Alright, where we are. Main flower back left. Right, main flower back left. Medium height champagne bloom. Okay, we've got that. Next one, back center. Back center, tall champagne bloom. And back right, final one, a tall champagne bloom. Okay, we got it. Why is this not complete? Base is that moonlight stuff. Right, base, moonlight sand. Swaying Xion next. Swaying Xion next. Champagne short. Champagne short. Short. Champagne short bloom on the front left. Champagne short bloom on front left, that's correct, it's short. Front center, medium height champagne bloom, front center, medium, yeah, that's correct. Champagne tall. Ah, front right, this is wrong. This should be short. This is what's wrong. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, unfortunately, I am not there. Let's talk to Shigo. What? Say talk to Shigo. Need the writing guy, the fat guy. Oh, that's the wrong thing, isn't it? This that I need to put. Okay, I'll have that. Thank you very much, game. Play the first. Wait until 8 AM. Looks like it's night time now. Let's go up to 8. Koronoshi drawing. I'll do that after the flowers. Because I'm here now anyway in front of the flower NPC, so we might as well do this flower arrangement stuff. It doesn't seem that hard or difficult to do with all the help they give you. Alright, one sec, let me just finish talking to her. Oh, I'll go there, just round the corner. Let's go. Okay, I'm here. I think I did it. I think I like clicked on it already.
Wind Strider.
Yeah. Yep, I have both of them. Bye bye Ganyu, so I'll switch to her. Bye bye Ayaka, hello Ganyu.
Time to begin work?
Okay, now what?
Festivals always attract so many people.
Okay.
Allow me.
Hydro is applied.
No touching.
Ah, it shows Scaramouche if you freeze it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because it appears. That was the story, right? The water makes it appear. Very cool. That's good. Very good. I like it. I like this attention to detail. What's the time now? Ah, it's Good Friday. Sunday. I could open a beer. Apologies, D2, for doing this in front of you. I know you're fasting. Let's begin then. Yeah, he definitely is. Because he's had placeholder information since the release of the game, like that they data mined, like playable character placeholder data that Signora still doesn't have, like, in the game files. So if they are ever going to make her playable, it's going to be later down the line in the future. And that was, I don't know if you ever heard me, like, for a while I've been saying, if they're going to make Signora playable, they're going to have to, like, resurrect her in the storyline, because that's how they operate, like MiHoYo, you know, like they've got like very sort of like strict like rules as to the evolution of Genshin, and if players should be playable and not, and yeah, one of those is like if the character's dead in the lore, then they're not available as playable characters. But the difference is Scaramouche's, that placeholder has always been in the data in the files of the game. I didn't read this, but yeah, he's definitely going to be playable, and he's going to be a boss as well. He's going to be a weekly boss. Let's do this. Oh, I would expect him to be a weekly boss at least. And I'm wondering if he's going to become as a weekly boss after we get Venti's second story quest, because whenever we get an Archon's second story quest, we get a new weekly boss following that. With Zhongli, we got Aizdaha. With Raiden Shogun, we got the Raiden Shogun fight, and with Venti, we've only had Dvalin, like one boss. So, yeah, we will, let's see what happens. I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to get Venti's story, part 2 of his story, and maybe Scaramouche will be the boss link to that. Maybe it'll be another boss, I'm not sure, but there will be a boss link to that, a new weekly boss. Alright, sorry, I need to read this thing. I didn't read it. Oh, nice. Now this stuff's come to show me. Wait, this is the wrong one. This is the one that we just did. Is this right? I swear I've just done that. I'm doing something wrong here. I was in the wrong bowl. Okay, that makes sense. That's why. Yeah, okay. Silken and sturdy, the lotus in the pond. I say let's just try and make it look like that. Okay, pond, pink flower, and some rocks. Pond, rock, pink flower. Is there any rocks here? Can we put any rocks here? Alright, I'm trying to wait for this to unlock in 20 seconds. I really can't be asked trying to work it out myself. Alright, base, crystal ripples, dewdrop something. Alright, crystal ripples we got. Dewdrop something we got. Next one is front left, a tall water lily's dreams. Front and left, so we don't want this. Oh no, we do. Front left, water lily's dreams. It's a shame I can't read all the text to see that is correct. I get half the name here. Okay. Tall one, yeah, that's right. Front center, tall lotus in the rain. Tall lotus in the rain. Okay. Front right, short pale blush of brush. Short pale blush of brush. Okay, next back left we have Medium pale blush. Okay, medium one of these. This reminds me a bit of that drinks event, you know, like where you had to mix them. It's very similar. Just there isn't like the pressure of doing it in a certain amount of time. Main flower, back center, a tool, pale brush. Like, have you, I guess you've already converted it into Intertwined Fates and you still can't resist. If that's the case, then perhaps you should change account and you know, like, save the temple, excuse me. Why have I done that wrong? Flower back center. Flower back center. It's a tool one, yeah, it should be tool. Yeah, the only time limit is just waiting, what, the 1 minute for the instructions to unlock? Back right, main flower back right. Or medium height pale blusher brush, medium height. Nice. Let's go and talk to the chick. Don't need to talk to her. I just need to go to the event menu. Nice. I will still need to read. When I come around to doing it on the other account, I'm definitely still going to need to read it. Well, then I have like a goldfish memory, as you're, excuse me, well aware of. So
Yeah, I probably should.
that is the reason I don't like remember stuff about things that I don't think are worth remembering. And over the years of playing lots and lots of video games, like wasting my memory space in my mind, remembering all this nonsense about games that, you know, after I stop playing the game, it becomes irrelevant. So I don't really remember a lot of stuff when I'm playing games nowadays. Because in one ear, out the other, you know, like in there, out there.
Those are my favorite.
Dailies do repose. What is Windbloom? Alright, so it looks like that. We can try. Let's try. Look like this, maybe. Give it a try. It was definitely this, wasn't it? So look, yeah. And pull one of those. Front left will be that. There'll be that and a medium one. That, medium, save. Front center. Front center. Yeah, who would have thought, right? You know, like everyone, all the military analysts in the world, all the news people, myself, my friends, we all thought, give it a week or two and Russia will be in full control of Ukraine. And it just goes to show what propaganda can do for you. Because, you know, like for the last sort of 10 years and stuff, on RT and various other Russian-backed news websites, you always saw these like military parades, you know, like these huge flybys and all their tanks and shit. And it was all just like propaganda, you know, to make you think they're stronger than they are. In conventional warfare, obviously, like I think they've got the largest nuclear stockpile in the world, like less than US, but US has got like more advanced, you know, like missiles and whatnot, advanced weaponry. And that's why, like, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, Putin issued a threat where he was basically saying, look, we might use nukes if the rest of the world gets involved to help Ukraine. And that's the thing, right, with nukes. And this is the reason, like, this is the reason the countries that have got nuclear weapons don't want other countries to have nuclear weapons, because once you've got nuclear weapons, right, you can't be fucked with by other people that have got nuclear weapons, because otherwise it could start World War III. They call it, the reason no one uses nukes is because it's called mutually assured destruction. If I fire my nuke at you, you're going to fire at me, and then all our allies will fire all their shit and the whole world gets blown up. So no one's actually going to do it. So that's the reason they don't want Iran to have nukes, because as soon as Iran's got nukes, they have to talk to Iran on the same level, not talk to them like they're underneath them. Do you see what I mean? Why do you think, look at Pakistan, right? Pakistan is a hotbed of like terrorist training and various militias and all this other stuff. But why haven't they gone in there, America, to go and sort them out? They went next door to Afghanistan. Why not? Because they got fucking nukes. That's why. Right? It's that simple. Once you got nukes, you're on the big boy table in the world. Yeah, from what I'm seeing, it's like basically their conventional military is outdated and ill-equipped. Apparently they used a lot of their ammunition in Syria, and so they don't have enough ammunition. I was watching this report where they found like abandoned Russian vehicles, and you know the rations, the soldiers' food, the rations, they were dated to 2015. So that's why you've got all those reports of Russian soldiers going into people's homes and taking their food and stuff, Ukrainians, because they've got out-of-date fucking food. If their food's out of date, then you know, like, their vehicles aren't working. And why there's so many abandoned tanks? They ran out of gas. They couldn't get petrol to the damn, or diesel. I think tanks run on diesel. They couldn't get the damn diesel to the tanks. So that means logistically they weren't prepared. They didn't have enough resources, and tactically they weren't prepared. And then the main thing is they thought Ukraine ain't gonna fight back. They thought they were just gonna be a pushover, and so did we. The whole world thought, you know what, Ukraine's just gonna be a pushover, but they were no, we want to fight, like, help us fight. And when you come up against that kind of resistance, I mean, the Americans had it in Vietnam. The Russians had it in bloody Afghanistan in the 80s. You can't win those wars when you're going into someone's home, basically. Even if you take over the cities and everything, they're still going to be taking out your tanks, taking out your helicopters in guerrilla warfare. You can't win against people whose home you're invading. But yeah, it shows a lot, doesn't it? It shows how important propaganda is on a world stage. Like, the whole world thought Russia was this greatly powerful military, and now the whole world thinks, well, you're a bit of a joke, aren't you? You can't even take on Ukraine, and you're meant to be, you know, one of the, I think they're ranked 5th, their military in the world, strength-wise. That's very true. But then the weapons they've been given are simply like handheld weapons. It's not like they've been given tanks or helicopters or airplanes. They've just been given like missiles that they fire off their shoulders. Like they've been given Stingers, javelins, anti-tanks, and one other anti-tank missile. I forget the name. Yeah, they lost a hell of a lot, man. A hell of a lot. Yeah, well, that whole Russian thing, like the invasion of Afghanistan by Russia, then led to Al Qaeda being created. Because Al Qaeda, you know, you speak Arabic, and you know it means the list. There's a list of CIA operatives that they trained, and Bin Laden was one of them. They're all friends. Like Bush and his family, they're all friends with the Saudi rulers. Bin Laden, you know, he's part of the Saudi royal family. There's this whole chain that's all linked, that's going on behind the scenes, that you and I don't know nothing about, because we're not, you know, we're just, to them, we're just peasants, people to be used to be used and abused to get whatever what they want. But yeah, there's this whole dodgy thing going on, and so you could directly say that Russia was the reason that the Twin Towers got taken down. You could easily make that argument, because if Russia had never invaded Afghanistan, then the US would never have trained Al Qaeda and the Mujahideen and supplied them, and then they wouldn't have then used that training that the US gave them to then go and attack America. You can easily make that argument. Yeah, they're all linked together. They knew what was going on and who actually made it happen. And yeah, we can have suspicions, right? But the best way to work it out, from what I found, is actually like following the money. Where's the money come from, and where's it going to fund the training, the weapons, and all of that? And once you follow the money, you start seeing, this makes sense now. That money's gone to there, and they will say that money was for something else, like, I don't know, like humanitarian aid or something like that, but really it's military aid, right? And they just, like, on the official papers, they just change what the name of the money is for. But once you start following the money, that's when you can see who actually is made the things happen. All right, I've got better to do this. So they're talking politics. Base Wind Laurel. Yeah, we got the right base. The next one is Verdant Leaves in the Balmy Breeze. Verdant Leaves in the Balmy Breeze. We got that right. Main flower. Front left. Short Promise of Blue Skies. Short Promise. Promise of Blue Skies. Short there. Main flower. Front center. Main flower. A medium height silhouette of the Winds Review. A medium height silhouette. Yeah, medium. Save. Front right, we have A Promise of Blue Skies. Oh, I didn't check the height. Promise of Blue Skies. Short. Promise of no, back left. Back left, a medium height sunset shadows. Medium height sunset shadows. I mean, even if you look at like the situation with your home country, D2, like Iraq and Iran, the wars that they had, that was all engineered by the West, and it was all to do with the Cold War, to do with, like, you know, like the original Cold War last century between the US and America. They all fought their battles via proxy. So, for example, when Russia wanted to expand its sphere of control into the Asian region and went for Afghanistan, well, obviously, like with what's going on in the Ukraine now, like the US didn't want to directly confront Russia because it could be a nuclear war. So they supplied the arms to the Mujahideen, the same that they're doing now with the Ukraine. And the same thing happened in Vietnam. For the reason that America was trying to support the democracy in Vietnam was because like there was a battle going on in Asia as to which ideology is going to be followed. And China, such a huge nation, had chosen communism. So you wanted to get all the little ones on your side if you're America. So Americans went into Vietnam, and where were the Viet Cong, the enemies of America, getting their weapons? From Russia. And it happens all over the place. And the same thing happened with Iraq and Iran. That was all engineered by Russia, and because of the argument, the ideological argument between communism and capitalism, basically Russia versus the US. And that's exactly why Iran and Iraq had all their problems. And the way they do it is they go in there, and you know, like there might be some people that don't get along with the other people. So say it might have been the Sunnis not getting on with the Shias, and the Shias not getting along with the Sunnis, but it's only a small amount of them. But then they send their CIA agents in, and they stir that hatred up. They stir it, and they stir it for years secretly under the system, right? And then they get those people doing their work for them, so they don't even have to send their own armies in. You've got people that should really be getting along then becoming enemies because of an engineered situation. It's really, really a kind of prick way of doing things, you know? Like, there's no honor involved in that. That's subversion, and like it's like It's what all the security services all over the world do. That's what it's called. Like, what is it? Cloak and shadow, something like that shit. You know, where it's all secret and all lies and just really, really shady kind of ways of operating. But anyway, where were we? We were on main flower back left. Immediate. But yeah, like Saddam was set up by the US. Like, look at the Shah of Iran before he got kicked out by his people. He was a US puppet. You know what I mean? Like, so all of this, like, and the reason, like, because when the Shah got kicked out of Iran, right, US lost the ability to control that country, and naturally the people of Iran were looking for support from somewhere else, so they were going to Russia. And so to prevent the sphere of Russian influence spreading further than Iran, like going down to Iraq, the US went in and they helped out Saddam. They gave him the ability to make the mustard gas he used on the Kurds. That all came from the CIA, mate. All of that. Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's why, like, also, like, you've got a lot of European nations that, well, not a lot, a handful of European nations who still refuse to stop buying the gas and oil from Russia because you know, like, people that have got, like, things are set up like it's a boys club, isn't it, right? And if you're not part of that club, you don't get the special deals and all that, and they've got the special deals for their country, and there's all these other factors that go into it as well, like power play, and then you've got to factor in people's personalities and their egos and how strong they are in staying true to their beliefs and their morals and stuff. And you got to remember, in those positions when you might be being offered $1 million to take a bribe or do something bad, it's difficult, right? We're human beings. That's why corruption is so rife all over the world, because we're weak, like, as human beings. We can be corrupted easily. And so those powers that be, they know that, and they know the psychology of man, and they know they you know the way they work. They all, like, monitor a person, like a high level official, and find out what his weakness is. It might be the women, it might be the drink, it might be the drugs, it might be the fast cars, it might be whatever it is. We've all got a weakness, and they'll pander to that weakness, and they'll keep knocking on at him with that weakness until they get some evidence on that guy, like some photos of him with a prostitute, or him doing a drug deal, or him doing something bad, and then they'll hold that against you and say, look, if you're not going to do what we say, bam, we release this and we destroy your life. They want that F-35, mate. They want the F-22 Raptor. That's what they want. The F-35 is got problems, but the F-22 is definitely the best fighter jet ever made. Right, where we are, main flower back left, I'm still on main flower back left. Medium, one of these. Right, we've got that. Next one is a tall silhouette of the wind's revere. Tall silhouette of the wind's revere. Okay, it's tall. And lastly, a medium height promise of blue skies. Medium height promise of blue skies. But that's part of, right, like, you know, right, so that is part of the engineering of society. So, you know, like, F-15 is fucking good, you know. F-15 is still a great multi-role fighter, but yeah, it's been outclassed by the F-35 now. However, but that was the whole point of the F-35. It was meant to be a replacement for the F-15. But what you said about the football, you know, like the football player, and that's part of the engineering of society, to keep people at this level where they like where they won't rebel against the leaders. So basically, you got to give your society just enough. Like, if you're the leaders, right, you're taking the piss out of your society. You're basically ripping them off in every country, all over the world. Don't care how clean cut they look. In this country, America, everywhere, right? Everyone fucking is corrupt who's running things. But the way they've got to balance it is that not to piss off the population enough so that they will do a rebellion. And that happened in the old days in Europe, you know, when there was kings and queens. Look at France, Britain, they all got their heads chopped off. We got democracy put in, but that eventually got corrupted too, right? So what they do is with like the football side of things, like football, music, all of this stuff, this is the spectacle to keep people busy, right? To keep people interested in some nonsense. And while you're busy with that nonsense, you're not paying attention to actually what's happening in the world and how you're being like basically rinsed by these leaders of the world, and they're taking your tax money, all this other stuff, right? And everyone could have a much better situation in life, but they don't want to do that because they want to keep lining their own pockets. And by lining their own pockets, it gives them power. Remember, money's power in our world, and they want power over other people. So the way to sort of something like football, right, it's really accessible to everyone. So say you're a kid in a poor country, but you've got some skills at football and you manage to get picked up, and you could go on to become that player that's worth 500 mil, right? And so that's appealing to everyone around the world. And it's the same spectacle if you know about Roman history. Back in the day, they used to have the Colosseum, where everyone would come and watch like the gladiators fighting lions, and they used to do some sick stuff as well, like they made lions rape women and all this stuff. But that was the entertainment, right, to keep the masses like sort of like subdued. It's almost like drugging them, that you've given them something else to think about. And football's been that for ages in the West, like in Europe especially, and it was all of the kind of for years football has had these hooligans attached to them, where like a certain amount of the fans from one team will have a football squad where they're like thugs, and they're usually racist, and they'll go there to fight the other fans and stuff. And that shows that football has replaced the tribalism that once was there, where it would be like English and French used to have bare wars back in the day, loads of wars, and now it's like that comes out during the sports, you know, like that same vitriol. So they've moved that away from the programming that was given 100 years ago, that we actually got to go and fight these people. Well, now we don't need to fight them because we're neighbours, right? And we're in the EU, and well, we're not anymore, but you know what I mean, we're kind of trying to be friendly, but there's still that programming they put in their people from hundreds of years ago. So the way to get it out, football, sports, all of that, it's all social programming, how to manage a society. It's very cleverly done, but very few people like wake up to it. And the most people who do start waking up to it is later in life, with myself, where you're a bit too old to make too much of a difference to how it is, but you recognize it, and hopefully if you do, then you can pass on that knowledge to others. But yeah, it's all very clever, mate. The people that own us, and you do have an owner, I have an owner, there's people that own us. We think we're free, we're not. There's people that own us, and they use us to blind their own pockets, but they give us the illusion that we're quite happy in our life and we got this new thing. And the part of it's the retail therapy thing, you know, like buy a new phone every year or every 2 years, because it makes you feel good for like a week, maybe less, a few days, and that's enough to help you get through how shit your work life is, or how shit whatever is going on in your life that's been set up by someone else. Yeah, and you can't, there's not, like, the problem is, once you recognize it, there's nothing you can do about it until enough people recognize it, and enough people are willing to say, no, we're not going to have it anymore, we're going to protest every day, and we're going to break the system, we're not going to go to work, we're not going to pay our bills, we're not going to do all the things you want us to do, and then there has to be change. But they've set it up so that basically it's drip feeding, isn't it? It's like drip feeding them just enough for them not to revolt and not to rebel. And yeah, and they have understood that, because they messed up when there was the royalty running everything in Europe. They messed up because they didn't understand that. But since then, they've understood that, and now they do that. Because back in those days in Europe, when it was royalty running everything, there was no drip feeding. Basically, you were either one of the top elite and you had a good life, or you were one of the peasants and your life was terrible. Now, over here, even what would be the equivalent of the peasants, you know, the lowest in society, because I mean, they have a good lifestyle because there's benefits you can get from the government to take care of you. Not a great lifestyle, but you can live. Do you see what I mean? And before you couldn't do that. So again, it's drip feeding to the lowest denominators, and the drip feeding happens all the way up through society, through lower class, lower middle class, upper middle class, up to elite, all the way. They wanted to drop that salary they were. I don't know, D2. You did tell me, but I don't remember. I'm sorry. You're in your teens, I think. No, he's not that old. He's fairly young, like around maybe your age, Masulina, maybe a bit older. I can't say for sure. Tell us then, D2. Tell us. I gotta wait until 8 AM. Oh man, my batteries have died in my headset. Bloody charge this headset up. Yeah, you did tell me, D2, but it was a while ago, like when you first started joining the stream, so I honestly can't really remember. You know how bad my memory is for this sort of stuff. Alright, have I waited till 8 AM? I don't believe I did. I think like I think you're a teenager, like late teens. That's what I think. I can't be exact, but yeah, I think you're late teens. Maybe early 20s, like that sort of range, but I don't know for sure. What was I doing? Wait until 8 AM. That's loud. Where am I going? 8 AM is close. 8 AM is there. Oh, so you're the same age as Masulina then? You guys are the same age. But the thing is, like, D2, like, I think where you've, you know, like your situation where you came from Iraq and your family's like in Turkey now, that means your family have gone through a lot, so they probably talked a lot of this talk that I talk. Because when you've had the actual experience of like direct effects of this system and these setup that have been set up a long time ago, obviously it rubs off on you. Like the way how I can understand politics so well is because my father was really into it, and like you pick up things, you know, like from the adults as you're growing up and seeing how the world works. So I'm guessing like either your father or family members have been saying like a lot of what I've said, but throughout your whole life, you know. So it's rubbed off on you. So you can see the patterns. But if you haven't had anyone to sort of show you it, it all sounds a bit like a conspiracy theory. But the difference between a conspiracy theory and this is that we've got historical, actual evidence you can go back and look at, and it's definitely happened, you know. Three months. So you what's it? April, May, June, July. So you're a July guy, and what star sign is that? I have no idea. That star sign. I don't know why I'm asking. You're not a chick. I usually say that stuff to chicks because they're interested in it. So we got the last one to do. Well, I guess part of it as well is like the programming like your family would have had during the Saddam regime, because this is the problem as well. Once I feel once you've had a certain amount of programming via propaganda for years and years and years, and you haven't had any outside thing that is like the opposite of the propaganda you're getting, then it's very easier to believe that the propaganda is real. For example, look at what's going on in Russia now on their news. They were saying, like they've been saying, you know, that Ukraine had Nazis in there, that Ukraine was doing this, is doing that, and all of those things are unsubstantiated, and a lot of the Russian people actually believe it because that's what their state media is telling them. But also you've got to remember, like, we're in the internet age now, and that hasn't been, it's only been 5 to 10 years since everyone in the world now has the internet in their hand. Even in the poorest countries, people got smartphones and they've got like 3 or 4G connection, right? So that means now we can instantly get different ideas on topics and stuff. And I grew up with that. I grew up with dial-up internet. I was about 18 when I got my first PC and dial-up internet. So
To survive hardship,
so once you have access to other ideas and stuff, that helps you build up your idea of what the actual truth is, as opposed to when you're just getting one tunnel vision view of the world.
why do things have to be this way? Don't be upset.
I don't think so. Like, I don't like saying, no, I'm on stream, this is public, but here we go. This is my view, that he was justified, that he shouldn't have taken that action. Because look at the history, right? The British annexed Kuwait from Iraq for the exact reason that the most dense area of Iraq, oil-wise, was Kuwait. The southernmost tip had the most oil. So the British cut that off when they were still sort of in semi in power, like as the empire was declining pre-World War II. They cut that off, put a puppet government in there that they can control to get lower price oil that Saddam would never have done, because he would have like got the maximum value for his oil to sort out his country. Like, he was a nationalist. He cared about his country. He cared about his people. He did some fucked up things. I mean, let's not lie. Like, gassing the Kurds was not nice, and he was totalitarian and authoritarian. However, his mistake was actually going in there with military force. That was his big mistake, and not recognizing that the US, since Vietnam hadn't had a war, but had kept spending hundreds of billions, every year on their defense. And if you keep having to spend hundreds of billions every year on your defense, and you're not having a war, then people are going to start saying, well, we need to cut the spending, right? And then the other side of that argument also is that we're spending all this money. We need to test our weapons are actually effective. We've got new weapons now that we didn't have in Vietnam. So let's go and test them out. And those are the two reasons he messed up. He didn't realize the psychology of the West. I don't think he went crazy. I think he miscalculated. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, this. But all of those, like in the West, so-called bad guys, Saddam, Gaddafi, can't remember who else, like even Assad, right, is still going on. Yeah, they've done some bad things, but you know what? They all were genuinely trying to take care of their people, and the history shows that. You literally just have to look at the history books, and you can see that they actually genuinely wanted to do right by their people. Is this finished now? Oh, the next morning. I waited until the same morning. We wait till the next morning, 8 AM. Yeah, and that's like the whole, like we've talked about this before, D2. Like when the whole Arab Spring occurred, that was meddling from the CIA and probably Mossad as well, because they want instability in the Middle East so that they don't have another enemy. No, they don't want another set of wars against the Middle East. And I should say the Middle East. I should say like the Muslim nations in the Middle East, because Israel is Middle East. But yeah, I think his miscalculation was that he didn't think that they would come and step in, and that was a huge miscalculation considering how oil dependent, especially in the 90s before EV cars and all that, how oil dependent the US was and is still. And yeah, that was his mistake. He miscalculated. And what also you need to understand is that there was a plan. There was a 5-year plan in which they wanted to topple 5 Middle Eastern regimes and change the regimes. But after after Afghanistan and Iraq War II, where there was no weapons of mass destruction, okay, but they said there was, they knew that they couldn't get the justification to go in militarily to the 5 countries they wanted to change. And this is an actual fact. You can go and Google this, yeah. Google regime change in 5 years US, and you'll find it. A US general who used to work for them published it. He showed it. He leaked it basically, and it was during the Bush era. And they wanted to topple Syria, Iran, Egypt, Libya, and I know Libya's North Africa, but it's still close enough. And there was one other, I forget which nation it was, but all 5 of the ones that are on that document have all had trouble since the Arab Spring. So are you telling me they're not linked? Come on, you'd have to be a rocket scientist to work this out. Oh, was it? Yeah, well, we know, like, we know that I don't even like calling it Saudi. I prefer calling it Arabia, because that family, the Saud family, are not the legitimate rulers of that country. I'm sure you know about that. They're not the actual the royalty who should be ruling that. They were lower down in the royalty line, but guess who pushed them up to the top? That's right, the US. And I wouldn't say the US, I'll say like the cohorts as well, like Britain, who helps the US, like these older powers from the world. Yeah, that's what set that up. Why can't I activate this flower pot? There we go. This is the wrong one. This is the way. Damn, can I not do this? Oh, I have to talk to the chick first, don't I? Yeah. And what you just said there is the exact reason the world is turning a blind eye to what's going on in Yemen right now, at the behest of the Saudis using British and American weapons. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Our tone, right? I know what you're meaning. Yeah, like most of, like, you know, like over here, right, in the Western media, the reason I think my politics is good, I follow media from all over the world. Like literally every country that's a player, I follow their main state broadcaster to see what they've been told. And the over here in the West, you hardly hear about the war in Yemen. Hardly hear about it. Everything else is front page, where there's any kind of, you know, atrocity or civilians being killed. But to find any reports on Yemen and what the Saudis are doing there, you've got to actually look really hard in Western media. But if you look elsewhere, especially African media report a lot on Middle Eastern issues in a way that Western media doesn't. And you get, you know, when you've got two, like I was saying before, you've got two sides of a different coin, then you can see where the truth is in the middle of those two sides. Whereas if you're only getting one side, then that side, when you finally hear a bit about it, you're probably going to think, it can't be real, because all I've been hearing is this one so much. But if you're hearing like two sides all the time, the truth is never one of the sides. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. What's that saying? Like, the truth is a three-edged blade. Your side, their side, and the truth. Alright, let's go. Let's get this done. Branches curved like this. Thank God this is the last bit of this. How long is left on this event? Because I've got to do all of this. 7 days, right? I'm going to have to do this next week on the other account. No, man. Let Stark do it. Let Stark do the snap. He'll sort it out properly. Like, Thanos, I can't trust him. I might be one of the 50% that disappear. All right. What are we doing? Let's check the theme. I need these flowers. So it's going to be this one here. We haven't used this one yet. We'll see. We need this thing, so it's going to be this. And some sunflowers in the back. That thing's going to unlock in 28 seconds. That's 13 seconds. Let's wait for this. That's a good one. Yeah, but I mean, if Stark does the snap, we know everything's going to be fixed. So let's just let him do it. Let's call in Tony. Get him to do it. Because I am Iron Man. Whatever he says when he does the snap. He says something like that, doesn't he? They should have had a better line, like when he... I didn't like that I am Iron Man, and he slaps it like... No, I think that the 5-star's going to be like Thor when he makes his entrance. And the 5-star weapon will be Stormbreaker. Alright, let's have a look here. Flourishing Bloom, I got that. Flowing Medleys and Rainbow Branches, we got that. Short Ring of Hearts. Ring of Hearts. Short one. Save that. Main flower, front center. Main flower. Front center, short ring. Oh, front center. A short silhouette of the Winds Revere. Silhouette of the Winds Revere. A short one. Thank you. Main flower, front right. Let's have a look. Main flower, front right. She was meant to be, wasn't she? But I mean, they like didn't. Oh, they kept her busy, didn't they? They took her like. Yeah, because she was taking out the big spaceships, wasn't she? She was doing all the heavy lifting. But she's meant to be the strongest. But her solo movie was terrible, man. I didn't like her solo movie. But the most powerful character that they had to rely on, I think it's just Brie Larson. I didn't like her acting in it at all. She didn't feel natural as Captain Marvel. I wasn't really impressed. So it might just be that. But you got to admit, like, I think, like, because there was that revenge thing that Thor wanted, you know, like Thor had like this, I've got to have my revenge now. It felt a bit better watching him coming back. I loved it, Fat Thor. They did a good job as well with the bodysuit. It looked real, like you know, the fat bits. It looked actually real. Right, where are we at now? We're on main flower front right. Main flower front right. Right, it's this one, short ring of hearts. Yeah, we've done it. We haven't. Ring of hearts, a short one. Save that. And main flower back left. Main flower back left is a medium height mirror of the sun. Mirror of the sun. That's this. Medium height. It's just a sunflower. It's not mirror of the sun. Back center is a tall sunflower. Yeah, good. And back right is medium plume of wishes. A plume of wishes. I'd love to have a plume of wishes. Alright, that's all done. It's funny. Yeah, very funny. I think that's why I found the Thor, you know, like, I think most people found the Thor sort of movies appealing because that level of humor that Chris Hemsworth puts into it, where he's like, Thor's a bit thick, you know, like he's a bit stupid. So it often like leads to comical moments happening. He's not as on the ball as the rest of them. Okay, thank you, Miss Fushizomi. Alright, so we're done with the flower stuff. That's it. There's nothing else to claim, right? Okay, good. So and this doesn't have anything? Or do I have to do the quests first to unlock this, perhaps? Because I don't really want to do questing. Excuse me. I think I'm going to end it here. I might be on a bit later. I don't know if you're available, but yeah, I've said 3.5 hours now stream, and thank you for keeping me company, dude. You made me laugh a lot, and you, Mussolino, whatever your name was, you were funny. I thought you were a bit of a prick at first, but you're actually quite a funny troll.
Time to go.
Yeah, the thing I think about that is that it's pretty like the reason that you want to know the actual reason why that happened with Iron Man before I go is because, you know, in Spider-Man Homecoming, Tony Stark's in that movie for 10 minutes and he got 8 minutes and he got paid $10 million for that. So yeah, at that point Disney knew they had to kill him. That's why that snap killed him. Anyway, dude, thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day too, and I hope to see you tomorrow, mate. Take care.